Yo, like, subscribe, follow, giddy up.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. Let the tampering begin for everybody besides the Philadelphia Eagles. This is Monday Morning Quarterback, only on A2D Radio. We are brought to you by the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. We know many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. Give our guy Rob Lubman a call. If you need any help, we'll get you set up into the proper channels at 856-651-8117. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Brian Wilson, the family out there join us. What's happening? Let's tamper. We'll get into tampering in a second. Sixers, big win big without Joel Embiid. Big win and win big without Joel Embiid. Couldn't miss last night. Which was great to see because you just want to be able to tread that water. Tread the water without him. And last night they did. We'll continue to talk about this next stretch of games for the Sixers and sort of where they can come out of this process here without Joel Embiid. So we'll dive into that later on the show. Latest NFL free agent moves. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the tampering. It has begun. The Patriots we were talking about before we came on the show, extremely active. Very active. Didn't like losing the division last year.
Very active.
They went and got better on the defensive side of the football. Eagles free agency rumors, and they're big-time rumors because we'll talk about the cap situation, sort of the money they've moved around to get to where they are right now, cap-wise. Obviously, when you talk about you got to add the draft in there, that's about a $12 million cap room you have to open up just there alone. So not only do they have to get under the cap, you got to get under $12 million to be able to even draft guys, right? And then you have to figure out a way to then be able to bring in some pieces, if that's Band-Aids or not, right, for this football team. So it's a weird year for us because we don't expect to be big-time buyers, right, if buy at all. So next year's really our year. We can get excited about this, but we'll talk about Eagles free agency rumors and are the Eagles cutting Zach Ertz? That's the main topic at hand today. Are they trading him? Are they cutting him? What direction are they going to go with them? And our poll question ties right into that, and that's brought to you by bodycheckwellness.com, and you can use promo code A2D and get yourself 20% off at checkout. That's promo code A2D, 20% off at checkout at bodycheckwellness.com. Go check them out. I love their products, clarity and focus, endurance and energy, tons of great products. Go check them out. You tell me. I'm not here to lie to you. Our poll question, right into Mr. Ertz. The Philadelphia Eagles will end up cutting, however you want to slice it. Zach Ertz, agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Please like, please subscribe, please follow whatever platform you're on. I'm saying please nicely. I'm saying please. I was always told if I say please, you get what you want. So I'm saying please. So hit that share button, hit that like button, wherever the hell you're at. Giddy up, comment in. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna go.
Pretty please. With the cherry on top. Like the fucking show.
Can I go different? Can I go disagree? I'm gonna go disagree for more reasons. Will they probably end up having to release them? Sure, because they tied themselves into this, right? So they probably will, because another situation where they showed their damn hand, right? They showed their damn hand. So yes, they probably will have to cut a top 5 tight end in football right now. Okay, think about that. Sit at home, wherever the hell you're at, and think about having to cut a top 5 tight end in football right this minute. I know he had a down year because he's banged up, all right, and because the GM's a snake, so he had a down year because of that. I don't like the fact of him bitching about a contract before the season started. All right, well, you're under contract. I don't like that. But then guess what? Then know who's running the show here? The snakes that are up top here in this organization. Yeah, you know what? I like you saying something now. I do. Now I do like you saying a little something. And no, I wouldn't. I say disagree because I believe figure it the hell out. Figure it out. You figure it out for every other damn player. You're figuring out for every other damn player on this football team. None of them are top 5 in their position. Okay, Frederick Cox, the only guy, if you restructure it right now, and Lane Johnson are the only guys that you can make that conversation for. You just did BG. BG ain't top 5 in his position. I love BG. He ain't top 5 anymore in his position. Top 5? He's top 5 end in football? No. Zach Ertz still the top 5 tight end. All right? Mr. Jeffrey Lurie, he wants to throw the football around the yard, right? With a quarterback that we don't know can throw it yet. You better have a ton of weapons to throw the damn football to. Okay? So this guy isn't 34 right now. He's what, 30 years old? Zach Ertz? 29, 30?
Around there.
Okay? So, I mean, that's a guy who can still play at a high level for another 3 years. So you want to get in a restructure game. How about you restructure a guy who wants the loyalty? Who all he is begging for the loyalty back. All right, a guy one of the biggest catches in franchise history, but biggest touchdowns in franchise history. Right, your loyalty to him was drafted a tight end in the second round the next year. All right, you guys are the definition of being unloyal as an organization, the guys. All right, you want to be loyal to all these other guys, Darren Sproles over the years, Jason Peters over the years. Being loyal to all the wrong guys. So, no, I disagree. They shouldn't end up having to release him. Restructure his ass. Bring him back. Throw a little guaranteed money at him. I mean, they're talking about being explosive offense. Dallas Goedert's always on the bench. All right? So when Dallas Goedert puts together a full 16 games, then talk to me about Dallas Goedert. Zach Ertz is a proven track record here, and you're going to end up releasing this guy? And you're not going to get nothing? No. Restructure his ass. Bring him back. At the end of the day, I don't want to talk about wins and losses in March, but I want to still win fucking football games. And he gives me a better chance to win football games than whatever you're going to go out and try to do, because I've seen your track record. So don't do nothing. Restructure it. Okay? You clowns. Restructure. I got to take his job. Like draft day. I just watched draft day the other night. It was on. And it got me giddied up because I feel like I'll be moving and shaking for the right things. The right things. I can win football games next year with this football team. You really want to get huge.
I don't trust you making moves.
Yeah, you would.
No,
yeah,
no chance.
Yeah, you would.
Nope. Big X on that one. Nope. You go too much off. You're too much off the cusp. You let emotions drive you too much. Can't have it. Can't have it. Can't have it.
Hey, Glass House.
You'd make a mistake.
Hey, Glass House.
I'm not saying I should run it either.
No, I'm talking about Jeffrey Lurie. I'm talking about Jeffrey Lurie, Mr. Emotion. Mr. Emotion freaking brings back Jason Peters 90. Bring back Darren Sproles. Gets it banged up every year. But we'll give him one more out of loyalty. You bring back all the wrong guys, okay? You gave some guys too long of a leash, and you didn't bring back the right guys, okay? So that's on you as an organization, loyalty. And then all I'm saying is Zach Ertz is a guy, I'm not the definition, you got to be loyal to everybody, okay? But he can still play at a high goddamn level in this league. So you have a young quarterback, right? Learn from some of the mistakes you made with your other quarterback and give him early on, right now, as many goddamn weapons out there as you can provide for him under the cap hell you're in, because you're not going to get Kenny Golladay. You're not going to go get any receiver probably that's worth a lick, all right, or any skill position guys, all right? I'm agree with Wills. I love Pitts. I would rather can I trade the 12 and get him? Sure. I'm in. Right? At 6, I don't know. There's so many studs on the board too at 6 that have played full years too and aren't banged up. So like that's concerning. But at the end of the day, Zach Ertz is a guy who's proven he can play in this league, and there's no way, shape, or form right this second. If he was 33 years old, you want to talk about releasing, be my fucking guest. All right? At 30 years old, you're talking about releasing a guy top 5 in his position. That's a crock of shit. Should never happen. So disagree. They should freaking restructure, bring him back. Let him go catch freaking 80 balls from Jalen, because Jalen's going to need it. Family, that's it. Bry. You guys, go ahead. No, Bob, I'm not going to breathe. Bob. I'm upset about a lot of things. I'm upset expecting to win 4 fucking games this year, Bob. Okay? So I don't care if it's March, April, May, June. I want to look forward to goddamn something good come September, right? When the leaves change and football season's here, all right? And try to win football games even though we stink. And the only way I can win football games is by trying to figure out ways to bring back guys who I know can play because we've seen draft track records. Shit. So no, Bob. No, Bob. We just got done winning 4 freaking games. We are a train wreck.
Breathe. Oh.
Sick of it. I'm sick of being the laughing stock of a shit division.
Tom, nothing you just said was wrong. But he's not coming back. He's not coming back. It would be fine. I'd be fine with him coming back. Like the mindset and everything you said, like there's nothing wrong with it other than the fact that they're running things and we're not. You know what I'm saying? Like under our mindset, we would say, okay, well, we're just going to follow that suit and say, okay, we're just going to do that. We're going to bring him back. We're going to make him work. And then we're going to add some stability for a quarterback to where, hey, we have so many question marks. One of those question marks doesn't need to be Zach Ertz. But they're not. They're going to release him. They're going to release him because we're seeing this all over again. It reminds me again of what they did with Wentz. You're hearing reports. You're hearing, oh, well, the Eagles' cost is too high. They want to try and get a 3rd or a 4th, and teams only want to give up like a 5th or a 6th or a 7th. And they're like, the Eagles are holding out for the best possible offer, but they're also getting antsy because they want to be under the cap number by Thursday. So it's going to be, okay, well, Wednesday night, they're going to be sitting there being like, okay, we're not getting the 3rd or 4th for him, right? And they're just going to, okay, well, time's up, and they're just going to cut him. They're just going to cut him. They're just going to bite the bullet just like they did with Wentz. And I won't be surprised by it. I'll be pissed by it because you look at how he was as far as value. Look at his value 12 months ago compared to now. It's astronomical, the difference. So to me, should they release Zach Ertz? Absolutely not. But they're going to. Or at the very least, they're going to trade him for a friggin' 6th-round pick, which would be pennies on the dollar compared to what he should be getting and what we would have gotten for him 12 months ago. I agree with you. It's a move that you just look at the talent on offense. You said, okay, well, he's not a liability on the field at all. You would look at more of a liability as far as staying healthy, and you would look at the guy in Dallas Goedert that people say, oh, he's going to be twice as good as Zach Ertz. People need to calm down with that first off because you have to be on the field in order to be better than Zach Ertz first. But to me, I don't disagree with anything you said, Tom, other than the fact that it's going to happen. He's not going to be here in the building probably by the next time we do a show on either Wednesday or Friday or Monday. So I disagree to the poll, or I agree to the poll. They are going to release Zach Ertz, and I'll probably be within the next 48 hours before the official deadline is here.
Well, real quick before you go, all right, I just wanted to see that. All right. If anything I said, I know they're rebuilding, but I just want to tell you this. It's 30-year-old tight end, okay? 75, 78, 74, 116, 88. So I know the way tight end position goes in the National Football League. And most tight ends can play at a high level till they're about 34, 35. Okay? Most of them. The good ones. Okay? This guy just gets open. Right? So talk to me about all the rest. Talk to me about the bad take. Talk to me about because they're rebuilding. They don't know what they're doing. If they're rebuilding, see that, then why are you restructuring Brandon Graham's? Why are you restructuring Lane Johnson's? Why are you restructuring all these guys then? Why are you bringing Jason Kelsey? What? No, that's a halfway in, halfway out mentality. This seems like to me. So they think they can retool. They actually believe they can win games. This is what I believe that they believe. So if they're going to believe this, then you better then go act like it then. Because that kind of production, where am I getting that at?
You're not. So
if he's 33, like I said, 33, I'm having a different conversation with everybody. Go, well, you have something different on the poll.
Yeah, no, I agree. Zach, thank you for your time. See ya. I mean, and it's our fault. We did it to ourselves, put ourselves in cap hell. And he's gone. He's gone. You can't trade him because everyone else. You think Howie's going to pull the wool over someone's eyes? I mean, that ain't happening. You can't trade him because everyone's like, yeah, you're going to fucking cut him. Why the fuck are we going to trade for him? So, yeah, I mean, to me, he's gone. He has to be gone just because we don't have the money for him. If we want to do anything free agency, we want to do anything, we have to cut him. So he's gone. And I'm not going to, like, I agree with pretty much everything you said, Tom, but I'm not going to, I don't like the whole narrative you were saying of them, like, they weren't, they didn't rely on their, what were we saying? They were on, whatever you said there, but, like, they drafted Dallas Goedert. To me, I don't like the whole being whiny that they drafted Dallas Goedert thing. That's to me, this is football. It's a business. You get competition for your position, and we pay you handsomely for it. So shut the fuck up and play. So I'm on that side of it.
Nobody's saying that he didn't woe is me, Dallas Goedert. I'm not saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you were like,
I'll give you the track record of everything they do, though, to differently to certain guys that they do for other guys. You know what I mean? Like Jeffrey Lurie has his hands in being loyal to certain people, and that's
why guys that he likes. But guess what? That's life, though.
I understand it. I understand.
Like any business you work in anywhere, there's going to be a guy that's good friends with the guy that's high up, and he's going to get every fucking advantage, and that's how it's going to go. It's just the way it goes.
Well, okay.
It's not what you know; it's who you know. A lot of times.
Facts. These are all NFL players. They all know the owner. So when certain guys,
but I bet you there's ones that are tighter. I guarantee it.
All right, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. But you can't make moves off of who you tight with.
I agree. That's an emotion thing. See, that's what Jeffrey's fucking up. But why is Jeffrey even making moves? Why is he making any decision? Why is he not just sitting back and writing fucking checks? That's what I have an issue with. I don't like when the owner's hands are in there. Then we start getting Jerry Jones-ish. I don't like that shit.
Well, we're already here.
But Howie, I mean, we know it's there because Howie's a puppet, and everyone knows it. And so, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to not stop watching the Eagles, but right now we're not heading down a good path. But I agree. Zach Ertz gone. I don't draft Pitts though, and I'm not confident that fucking Goddard can stay healthy. So I'm not happy, but he's gone. He's definitely gone. So yeah, just move on from it, I guess.
Well, if Zach,
I'm not happy with the team right now, but I think that we still, and I'm obviously gonna put a spin on it because I'm a fucking fan. I still think we can be competitive because if healthy, which they haven't been for fucking years now, but if healthy, our D-line and O-line are good, and you win. If your D-line and O-line are good, you can have a good chance to win. Now, Jalen Hurts has to play well, so I don't know how that's going to go. But if our O-line and D-line are good, we have a chance to win games. That's just fact. And our division ain't that tough.
Okay, so it'd be more of a reason to bring a guy back like this.
I agree, but they're not going to, though. Because if they want to to fill the rest of the team, they can't.
He's getting antsy as a player, right? Because of the uncertainty of where he's going to be. So that puts it, that sort of shifts it back in your hands a little bit, if that report's true. In terms of like, okay, you're antsy. Here you go. Take this or go test the market. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So there's that option where you can hold the cards a little bit. Now it's not the end all be all, right? Because you already put it out there. You've already tied yourself in. You already backed yourself into this corner. So you know what I mean? So it's a little harder. But the fact that he's antsy, per se, maybe like reported, if that's even a little bit true, go throw 10, 15 guaranteed million at him, because you don't got to give him that guaranteed million this year. As long as that's in the contract of getting paid at some point throughout a 3-year period, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can restructure it for a 3-year deal. You got so much money the next 2 years. Yeah. It's not crazy to say you're only in cap hell. I hate to say this and agree with Jeffrey Lurie for anything, but you're only in cap hell right now.
I mean, that's true, but we're fucking ourselves with all these restructured deals, though, because it's going to happen again now.
When they're older, too. When BG's a couple years older, when Zach Ertz is a couple years older, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to be getting paid top money when they're really not in their prime. That's
either that, or you just break your promises to them and you just fucking cut them in like a year.
No, the BG's different. BG became a 2-year, and I think it's only became a 2-year on the restructure, but like there's more money in the deal for him or something like that over them 2 years. You know what I mean? Like they just
that's how they usually do it.
They did that one, but like I agree with you that they could come back and they could go back and bite him with all these older guys. I don't disagree with that. That's why I would have blown it up with some older guys, but they're in such cap hell they can't just cut guys either.
I know what their mindset is, though, Tom.
They're in that weird spot.
They're thinking Dallas Goedert is good enough that we can cut him, is what they're thinking, and save this money. That's got to be what they're thinking. But to your point, and I would agree with you, is that you're not saving a ton, and Dallas Goedert hasn't been on the field. I like Dallas Goedert, but is he going to be healthy? And if Jalen Hurts now, and we kind of heard our fucking draft pick by saying that Jalen Hurts is our guy. Another reason or another thing that we didn't have to say.
If they're truly,
then we could have, if one of those quarterbacks is there, we could have pretended like we were going to take one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know
But
what I'm
I
about to
don't know.
say.
I don't
What I'm about to say I know isn't popular, but if they're truly in retooling, rebuilding mode like they say they are, I'm fine with trading both of them. Trade both of them. My future isn't tied to Dallas Goedert. To Wilson's point, he's never on the field. You know what I'm saying? To where if you're in the mode, if you're going to be in the mode of win now, then okay, then actually make win now moves. Or if I think at least we've been led down this road of, hey, we're going to rebuild and we're going to take a year off type thing as far as winning in any significant form, then trade them both. Then truly don't attach yourself to any asset and be like, okay, this guy can get this pick. Oh, we could save this amount of money into the future. Trade them both. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like neither one of them is a perfect prospect at this time.
Right. It's simple as this. Like, and two, you want to set up a new regime with some stuff, right? You want to set up, especially an offensive minded guy.
Stability, you would hope.
You want to have an explosive offense. Like he loves running 2 tight end sets. So the fact of the matter is, like, it makes too much sense. I know I'm like the crazy guy right now talking about Zach Ertz. I don't have this love affair. I would have traded Zach Ertz 2 years ago when his market was the highest. Okay, but his market's not high anymore, and so that's on them. So when it gets to this point, and then I think, okay, let me take a step back as just being a football guy and realize, okay, really good tight ends can play till when they're what usually at a pretty high level, 35-ish, right? I'll say maybe 34, just depending on the guy, right? But he doesn't take a lot of hits per se either, right? Doesn't take a lot of hits, just gets open.
He
right?
catches the ball, yeah.
Real good route runner, just gets open, catches a ton of footballs. So to me, all right, at 30, I just say, you know what? Since how am I letting guys just walk out of here that are under contract for next year? I'm letting him walk out of here, and he's still considered a top 5 guy in his position, and I have an offensive-minded head coach. I have a young quarterback. What the hell am I doing? Why not set these old guys up for a little bit of success, at least early on? If you're going to go do the Brandon Grahams and the Lane Johnsons and all the fucking rest, then what are you doing? Then you got one more guy. You let Jalen go, fine. All right, we're not paying Jalen Mills that kind of money. Let him go, right? So guess what? At least have an identity on the offensive side of the freaking football then. Christ, if teams go and score 40 on us, fine. But can I at least watch some exciting offense then? Because right now I got so many unknowns offensively that my only known skill position player per se is Zach Ertz under contract right this second. Is the only one. There's nobody else that's a proven known that if he's healthy, he's giving you X numbers. None.
No, I totally agree with you, Tom, but it's just, I mean, it's not going to happen, you know? And I would say I totally agree that I would love Jalen if he's going to, the best chance for him to be good is for us to have good playmakers around him. Mm-hmm. So he's losing a playmaker by losing Ertz.
It's the same. It's the same thing as when we yelled and screamed from the rooftops about the Wentz thing of, just bring him back, bring in competition, run them at the same time, that whole thing. It's like, yes, the perfect mindset would be, okay, keep them both or to keep Zach Ertz because that's what would make sense with this whole, are we winning now or are we not winning now? It would make the most sense, but in the same thing of the Wentz conversation, that boat is sailed. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? That ship has sailed.
Every ship sailed until money matters, right? Like, yes, the Wentz ship sailed, fine, and it was proven that sailed, right? But like, I don't believe any ship and ties are broken when you're talking about dollars and cents. All right, like real easy to repair a relationship with guaranteed money with any player, with anything in this sport. All guys want, all these prima donnas want at this level is to be touched by somebody. You understand what I'm saying? Reach out and touch me. That's all they want.
If you're
willing to, you know what I'm saying, right? If you're willing to give them the money even close to what they want and guarantee money, listen, you repair relationships real quick. And guys backpedal off of their stances too. Like, I'm so fat. You know what I mean? Like he cried the podium he was leaving, right? Everything pointed to he was leaving. But listen, until you throw a little guaranteed money around, then guys change their tune a little bit. But that's not saying that. Listen, I'm not making the case that he's back, that they're bringing him back to disagree. I'm just making the case on what they should do. That's all my argument is on what I would do.
I think the only way, to your point, I think the only way he would even consider coming back here, given the whole thing with Howie Roseman, just the whole ordeal with the team right now, he would then go back to what he was looking for this time last offseason, to a George Kittle-esque deal. And we don't have the ability to do that.
He can't
you know
get
what I'm saying? Right and first off, the fact that 12 months ago, the fact that he was asking for that is ridiculous. Now it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, he doesn't have the right to stand on. Listen, 12 months ago, he had a leg to stand on with it. Okay? He had a leg to stand on with it. After this year, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He was banged up. The value goes down. Simple. Now, is he still going to get top 10 in his position? Yeah.
He's going to get Jonnu Smith money. He's going to try and say, for example, he lands in Green Bay or wherever, fill in the blank team. If he's either traded there or he's cut and he goes there outright, it's either, if say, for example, he's traded there for a sixth. The next thing you're going to hear is, Zach Ertz extended for, 3 years, X amount of money. You know what I'm saying?
Why not just extend him 3 years, 40? Right? I mean, 3 years, 40. They just went 4 years, 50 for Smith. You know what I mean? Or go 4 years, 50. 4 years, 50. 4 years, 55. Right? All that matters in there is the guaranteed. So go 4 years, 55. What did Smith get guaranteed money? I don't know. So, I would have to know what he got guaranteed.
Good amount.
Okay. So what do you get? 20 million of it guaranteed? 25? Usually around half if you're lucky. You know what I mean? So, okay. So you got to guarantee 25. You got to guarantee him $25 million. You're not going to
31.25 guaranteed. So 31 guaranteed.
More and more guys are getting more and more guaranteed money. You noticing this? Prescott's sort of just going to set that bar too. You want to guarantee it. Good for you.
I mean, that's how I would be too. I don't care. I don't care about that online. Let me get that paper. Give me that paper.
They're 31. So say you got to. Okay. So say
I'd say the tournament's coming up. I got bets to make. Give me that paper.
If you got to guarantee him, get them 32 out of the 50. Oh well, not crazy amount of money over 4 years that you're guaranteeing when it's spaced out. It's not crazy, and he's playing until he's 34. Done. Goodbye. You let a guy actually stay somewhere. It's not a bad thing. We don't always have to. Not saying we are. I'm just saying as a fan base, we don't always have to move on from a guy. Like a guy can still play at a high level. Like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be a goodbye tour. Like because we're expecting to go in a different direction. Like, no, you guys just both said it yourselves. This division stinks. I've said it stinks. Do I think we're going to win it? No. But shit, I mean, I'm the biggest hope guy in the world. Give me a little false hope.
And Pop, to your point, he says should be able to get at least a 4th round pick for Ertz, maybe a 3rd. Outside of last season, he's been a top 5 guy at his position. But to Wilson, I think Wilson, you were saying this earlier, to where Howie's not going to fool anybody. Yeah. Every team knows he's going to be gone regardless. So it's like, okay, either take what we're giving you, 5, 6 round picks, or we're just going to try and get him when he's a free agent in 3 days, 2 days. Nobody's
trading for him. They put themselves. I mean, you talk about a corner. It was like 50 Shades of Howie. I mean, he was like tied up. I mean, he was like tied up in the corner. And that's what this was. I mean, because he just did it to himself. And Zach started it, per se.
Shades of Howie.
Zach started it. Wherever you're listening to us at, pound that like button, pound that subscribe button. Everybody over on YouTube, let's go. People are commenting in, pound it, and you guys aren't doing it. Let's go. Grow up over there. 100 people watching, 41 likes. Come on, we got to get us over 100. Get us over 100 likes. Let's go. Starts with you. I'll give him, Jonathan, I agree. I'll give him 4 years with an opt-out at 2. I mean, you can, maybe not at 2, maybe an opt-out at 3 because, you can't give him as much guaranteed this year right now. You know what I mean? You're spacing that out. Still guaranteed it. You know what I mean? But just salary cap wise.
Greg Caldwell asked, what do you guys, I know we were talking about this before we went on the air. What do you guys think of bringing in Corey Davis if we can get him at a reasonable price?
Listen, I love that name. Greg, I love that name. I think that he's finally broke out this year. He looked really good. I know this guy had a ton of talent and kind of didn't live up to his his draft spot for a while there. But the issue I think we have is that he seems to be one of the more targeted guys now, especially after Godwin and Allen Robinson both got franchise tagged. So it's like, I think he's going to get pretty good money. Like, I think it's going to be Golladay and then probably him. He's probably going to get the second most money. So I'm thinking that maybe I just don't think we're going to be able to get him at a reasonable price. I would love him, though. I think it's a great name. To me, I'm looking more, if we're going to try to get a receiver, which I'd love to do because I don't want to draft one at 6. I've said that multiple times. I'd rather go Surtain or Micah Parsons over a receiver. I'm looking at one of these older guys, that's maybe you can give him a prove me type of deal, a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal with back-ended and keep it cheap this year. T.Y. Hilton, A.J. Green. Can we get somebody that can come in and help the kid? Maybe see if he, can build a little rapport with the guy that's done it before in the lake. That's all I'm thinking. Because we don't have a lot of money to throw around to these guys. So it's going to be tough to bring one like a Golladay or Corey Davis in.
What about Nelson?
Listen, if Nelson wants to come, I don't know. I don't know if Nelson wants to come back, but I'll take Nelson back. You know what? Fuck Nelson. I don't want Nelson back.
I don't want to do this.
I know what. Never mind. I'm done. I don't want Nelson.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
I'm done. I'm not doing it. I don't want it.
If it was a year,
everyone's like, "Oh, Nelson, he caught some balls." No. Oh, no. I'm done.
If it was a year,
I almost tricked myself for a second there. Yes. No.
Thank you, Wills. I was going to say, I would have been surprised if you would have said yes.
No.
If it was a year where we actually expected to win, like if we were like, oh, let's get one more receiver that's going to be depth-wise and we're going to go for the Super Bowl again, I'll be like, okay, because we're probably going to win. The morale's going to be high. No, we're going to stink. So I'm not bringing Nelson Aguilar to do the whole Nelson Aguilar tour again when we're going to stink. I still
don't think we're going to stink. We might fucking stink. We might stink. There's a decent chance we stink, but there's a chance that we don't stink.
Playoffs.
There's a decent chance we stink, and there's also a decent chance that, like, to me, like, I am not in the business of putting my nose up to anything that can get open right now. Like anything. Like, you could read me off a ton of these wide receivers, and I'd be like, yeah.
Well, what's your stance? What both of you and the fam at home? What is your point of view with the Juju Smith-Schuster thing?
You got to pay him too much.
Yeah, he's going to want too much money. He's young too. Like, to me, that him, Davis, Golladay are probably the most attractive options for other teams that got money out there. Because they're younger still. Looks like their best years are still ahead of them. That's, to me, there's are guys that we probably can't afford. I would think.
Now, I know Rappaport said this morning that he believes Juju, because he's a businessman, he would bet on himself and he would take like a 1-year prove it deal, like 1 year 10. And that way he's not tying himself into an organization, and then he would hit the market next year.
Would he want to come here with a
quarter? Yeah. That's the thing is, though, is he going to get big numbers with Jalen? He would have to really trust Jalen for him to sign here for that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if Jalen's not good, then he ain't going to have good numbers, and it hurts his value.
See, I don't, unless he was like extremely cheap, I don't want.
You got to remember that I also don't think that Jalen's good. You got to remember that. So I'm going to always filter that way of it. I don't think that he's bad. I like the kid. I just don't think that he's ever going to be a very good passing quarterback in this league. I think he's more of a gadget guy. He's a guy that he's a serviceable gadget guy.
You want me to be glass half full on this one, even though I'm right with you, right? Like, I'm right with you, but
if you give him weapons, maybe he'll shine. Who knows?
I'll give you devil's advocate to it, right? We see he's working his ass off. Now, every quarterback works his ass off, but I truly believe he is a worker, though. Like, I truly believe that if there's a guy who can turn himself into trying to read defenses better, you know what I mean? Working on staying in the pocket more, working on his hips, right? Working on his hip action, going through his reads, right? I think it could be him. I think would be a guy willing to say, all right, I gotta keep working to get better, right? So, like, I would hope that's a guy who I could see doing that. Now, is that going to make him the best pocket passer of all time? No, right? But can he be good enough from the pocket, Wills? That's all we need, right? Because everything else, intangible-wise, is there, right? We know leadership-wise, right? Now, the height's an issue to me, right? But he's a strong kid, so I'm not overly worried about it. You can learn to throw from the pocket by windows, okay? I'm trying to think of the positives, right? We know he can run around, right? Now I'm not talking about running around for, like, 40-yard runs and stuff. I'm talking about the way the National Football League is now. You need quarterbacks who can make plays on the run, because guys get open and guys take stuff 60 to the house. That's what makes your offense explosive, unlike other offenses. So can you throw a little bit from the pocket? I'm hoping, I'm praying that he can.
And to your point, Tom, he
needs to avoid getting hit too much. He got hit too much in the 4 games he played, because he's not big enough to be getting hit like that. He'll get hurt. It's just the way the league is. There's no one can run around like that and survive. You just can't do it. Cam Newton kind of did it, and he was always banged up, and he's fucking huge. He's way bigger.
Giant. Yeah, he's gigantic. Yeah, just by default, Tom, if they get at least one receiver that can actually catch the ball and finish a route, and if the offensive line actually protects him, he's going to be better by default. So to your point, like, I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts guy. I definitely have
I hope he plays great.
Yeah, and like I said,
I'm all in for him playing great. I don't think he will.
Yeah, and everyone's saying like we have the formula to be good and better than we expect next year. I completely buy into that. It's just that, okay, we could talk all about the formula on the offensive side, and this kind of goes into the free agent and on a bunch of the rumored names. We could be absolutely fine on offense. This defense currently constructed is going to give up like 50 points a game. So like Jalen Hurts could be great. He could put up 30 points a game. You're probably still losing by 15 to 20.
Maybe.
And
like,
Jesse,
the front's going to be that biggest determination of that, right?
Absolutely.
The front's not healthy defensively. 50, they might give up 70. But now, if somebody asks about Barnett, if you bring Barnett back, and you actually have a front that you got money tied into that can still play, maybe they can be okay. But
and real quick, sorry to cut you off, but it would be a similar line to what it was last year. Because what are we moving on from? Malik?
Yeah, well, he's gone.
Yeah,
he hasn't played well. He hasn't played well anyway. So see ya. We need Hargrave to play better because he's going to be here.
I think he will. I think he will.
He has to play better because he just didn't play well this year. He has to play better. I feel like the end of the year when he started playing a little better, but he has to play better. And Fletcher's good, and we still got Brandon. So the line should still be good. The line was good this year. It was one of the best parts of our team. I don't think Malik Jackson played well, or Hargrave. But if our line is good and our O-line is healthy, because we know our O-line's good if healthy. So if our O-line's healthy, which is a big if, obviously, if they're healthy, at least Lane and Brandon and Jason, if they're healthy, we can do a lot of things to the right side. Okay, we're good. If they're healthy, we should have opportunities to win games, because when your lines are good, you can win games in this league. So we should have opportunities. And Miles, I'm critical of Miles, but Miles running for like 4.5 yards a carry. If our O-line can stay healthy and Miles can have a good year, you can try to just rely on Miles. Can Miles become a workhorse? That would be a big thing for Jalen.
I don't think he needs to. Well, I'm going to give you a name in a few minutes, a name that I've been mentioning that I think you can get for really cheap. That could be kind of a running mate with him. So
Pat Steinborn too, huh?
Pat's
moving and shaking right now.
Yeah.
And the Chargers agreed, breaking news, Chargers agreed with Corey Linsley. It's probably the best center in football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, that's a good move. Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Get the best center in football.
Yep. Done and done. Simple.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Carrie, we appreciate the donation. He said rebuild mode, guys. Washington football team's turn going back to back. Well, appreciate the donation. It is rebuild mode, but this GM hasn't fully committed to that yet. So we assume that they still think that they can, air quote, compete for this.
Who's QB for Washington football team currently?
Me or you?
Corey.
It's going to be either Sam Darnold or Mitchell Trubisky, in my opinion.
Okay. Back to back. Back to back.
Now if this Russell Wilson stuff is actually real, then I'm scared to death. Maybe
that is not happening. It's not happening. The Seattle Seahawks are not trading Russell Wilson. For anyone out there, are you taking fucking crazy pills? Okay, I understand that athletes are prima donnas nowadays and they wind their way out of places, but the Seattle Seahawks aren't trading Russell Wilson. That's not happening. They'll throw a little more money his way. He'll chip her up. They'll pat Sierra on the ass. Everybody will have fun.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, but
I wouldn't think so either. Just the chance of being in our division.
Now, I don't think that Houston's going to trade Deshaun Watson either.
Was he going to sit at home for a year?
No, he'll play.
Guys won't sit.
They'll pull their card. They ain't going to sit at home. Pull their card. He'll play.
Mm-hmm. He'll go. He'll play. I've been saying that for the longest time. Like, I don't believe he's
threatening to sit. They don't sit.
Yeah, I was like, I'll believe he's traded when he's traded.
Yeah. When they start losing $15,000 a day for missing time, they show up pretty quickly usually.
Washington football team calling the Eagles for number 6 overall pick. We would get number 20, number 52, and number 1 in 2022.
Thank you. Try again. I'm not helping the Washington football team out. No, thank you. I don't like that. 20, 52. 20 is not a good enough pick for me. If we're moving back from 6, I'm trying to move back to 9 or to 10. Right in that area.
So
I'm not trying to drop back to 20.
We would have 20, 37, 52 if we did that. And then we would possibly have 3 first-rounders next year. Theirs, ours, and the Colts if Carson does his thing. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It is a little more interesting now that I think of it that way because I think the Washington football team might stink this year. Unfortunately, Corey, sorry, but you don't have a quarterback. I don't want the only thing that would scare me is if they go up to 6 and they draft Zach Wilson at 6, who I think has a chance to be pretty damn good. Not Trevor Lawrence, but the next best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion. Then I'd get a little nervous that he might be good. If they got Justin Fields, I'd be fine with it because I don't think he'll be good. So
get a little of this one, Wells. Gary says, thanks for the super chat, by the way. He says,
I'll tell you what, I like Heineke a little bit. I'll give you that I like Heineke a little bit.
He showed some things.
I do like Heineke a little bit.
He got thrown in the fire in that situation.
Hey, he showed some nuts in that game. He played
against
well.
Brady.
He played well in that game.
Yeah. I'll say this, right? I would probably really consider doing that deal because, again, 20, 52, and I'm at worst going to have 2 first-rounders and 2 seconds next year, right? I mean, listen, you want to start hitting on studs and getting studs? If teams want to give you first-round picks to move up in the first round, and give you
get studs top 10 though. You don't get studs at 20.
You don't get studs anywhere.
So I understand that. So but our best chance is at 6, not at 20. No, we already saw 20.
I think you get more.
I don't think I got to fix my glasses, but I don't think Reagor did a whole lot this year.
No, but I would tell you this though, Wells. I think you can get more out of him than that offer though. Like you're going 20 to 6. You might you might have to give up 2 seconds and the first.
What about this? Jacob Hensler says, tell Washington to throw in Montez Sweat.
They don't have to give me the 20th this year or next year's first rounder. Just give me the 20th this year, 52, Montez Sweat. We'll call it a day.
You can let Barnett walk after that.
Yeah. We'll call that a day. I'll go to work with that.
And then I agree. Greg says J.C. Horn at 20. Not a big horn guy, but
I mean,
I liked his father.
Yeah, I like Daddy. I mean,
Joe, Little Bighorn.
There's a lot of good corners in this draft.
God,
so
he's pulling cell phones out of the goalpost.
Then
that was one of the greatest. Right? That was one of the greatest celebrations of all time.
Yeah, it was.
I think he might have had 4 touches. He might have 4 touches that day.
You have 2 seconds this year too. 3/3. I mean,
throw in McLaurin, guys. Come on.
I was going to say,
let's be serious.
They can keep the first next year if we get McLaurin. They can just keep that.
They're not trading McLaurin.
No. I agree with you. They should stay at 6. But if I can get a player back that's impactful, then I'm out. Like if
I'm with D on this. I feel like you get to me, and I've already said this. I'm not going to complain if they get Jamar Chase, okay? Because I think Jamar Chase has a chance to be a superstar receiver, so I'm not going to complain. But I'm of the opinion that we already have young receivers that we've drafted high. I would rather draft Patrick Surtain the second, or I'd rather draft Micah Parsons. That's who I would like to go with. I know we won't draft Micah Parsons because we just don't draft linebackers in the first round. Hasn't happened since 1979. Jerry Robinson.
Forever. We don't trade him. We don't draft him in the second round either.
Well, 1979. Last time we drafted a linebacker in the first round, Jerry Robinson at USC.
I would do it though for a player. I would do it though for like I'm always a believer of like, okay, if you wanted to give me hypothetically 20 this year, 52, and Sweat, then you.
Yeah, I mean, you think they're willing to? I don't think they're willing to give up Sweat though, are they?
I'm just teams give up shit when they need a quarterback, right?
True.
So, I'm not saying
their depth is loaded to where they can afford. You know what I'm saying? They can afford to.
Yeah, but I would think that they would be more willing to get rid of Kerrigan, which we would obviously want Sweat because he's younger.
Yeah,
but they would probably be more willing to get rid of Kerrigan, and then you want to team Sweat with with the monster.
But they got Young though already.
Yeah, Chase Young's a monster. You know that.
It could be like, okay.
He's like a predator out there. I feel like he has that little. I feel like he has that little laser thing that the predator has.
That deal I do though. That deal I do because I know I'm getting a player back, and I'm getting a first. I'm still getting a first this year, and I'm getting an extra second. And I need players right now. I need players. Like more so than anything, I just need players. I need bodies. So it's like, give me bodies.
And
what's his what's Montez Sweat's contract like though? We have to worry about that.
Well, he's still
young. Yeah, he's young.
I think he's in year 3 of his rookie contract.
Oh, well, that would be beautiful because he makes hardly any money.
Then we got 2 years of control with him then.
And Kerrigan's a free agent, so he wouldn't even be on the table.
Kerrigan's a free agent. That's a guy I like. We
cheap guy, bring him in 1 year. He's 32.
I love Ryan Kerrigan. You don't have to sell me on Ryan Kerrigan. Listen, it's also because he always fucking kills us. Always. But I love Ryan Kerrigan. I love me some Ryan Kerrigan.
Mike Grimm, I like this. He said, damn, I want the Eagles to get Casey Hayward. I would like Casey Hayward. Team him up with Slay.
Listen, I have a little prove it deal because he's been banged up last couple of years, right?
Still draft Surtain.
Casey's a good player.
And still draft. I'm good with that. And still draft Surtain. Really address it.
So Montez Sweat he was in a 4-year, $11 million contract. He's entering year 3, so he's only getting paid $3 million this year and $3 million next year. So he's a free agent in 2023. If we do not pick up his 5th-year option.
Which we would.
Yes.
For that's name brand, I will say that I'm not as worried about their D-line if our O-line's healthy because at least we have some guys that can block their guys. This year, I mean, when we were banged up this year, they have a dangerous D-line for anybody's team. Even when we're healthy, they're still going to get to the quarterback a little bit because they're fucking dangerous. But if we're healthy, I trust ourselves a lot more. This past year was like fucking. I was just waiting for a guy to get killed out there.
Train wreck. 138 people watch on YouTube, 59 likes. Pound that like. First time here. Pound that subscribe. Let's go. Let's talk some football. Continue it on here.
But Sweat would be perfect, especially with the amount of money he makes. I doubt they're willing to give him up. Obviously, Kerrigan's a free agent, so you figure, Sweat. You figure you got Sweat and Chase. You're just attacking the quarterback.
So I'll give you.
But like you said, if their quarterback that they want's there at 6, you can use that against them. Now, if we were pretending that we were still going to take a quarterback, we could even flex for more. But we had to come out and say, "Oh, Jalen's our guy." Fucking idiots. There's no reason to say that. There's no reason to say it. You could tell him privately. You don't got to go yelling it from the fucking rooftops. Fucking morons, man. It's just that we do stupid shit constantly.
I agree with David Bradley. He says Horn at 20, Collins at 37, Grant 52. Yeah, makes sense. I'll give you a name. I brought it up earlier. I alluded to it. Cheap guy you can get running back wise to run along with Miles. He would be coming on a prove it deal, and he has familiarity with the offense because we just took the entire coaching staff.
We would be sweaty out there, wouldn't we?
Yes,
we'd be sweaty. We would be sweaty.
Marlon Mack.
I like Marlon Mack coming off an injury. Guy that's probably
1 year, $4 million. 1 year, $3 million.
Prove it deal. I like I like the name.
I like Marlon.
Running those two, and then obviously you've got Darren Sproles Jr. according to some people, and Boston Scott.
Dylan says
you hate Boston Scott, don't you?
I hate the love for Boston Scott.
What not? It's a little guy.
Dylan says,
I don't hate Boston Scott. I mean, he's a gadget guy that can play a little bit, a couple plays here and there. That's about it. I don't see much for him, Hopefully he don't see the field a whole lot.
Yeah, like I like him as a bench guy. Like I like him as just seeing him on the sidelines. Be like, oh, there's Boston. Good to see you.
Hey, he made a great catch, to win us a game last year. I'll give him that.
Yeah, listen, I love him against the Giants. I love him. So 2 weeks a year, I love him against the Giants.
Yeah,
Dylan. The problem is I don't think we can afford Davis or Golladay, but I would love to draft Surtain. I do not want to draft a receiver. I already said this. I will not complain if they draft Chase because I think he's going to, chance to be an absolute stud. What's up, TTP? But to me, I just don't think we can afford Golladay or the other guy said Corey Davis. I just don't think we can afford them. And to me, I'd rather go defense. I'd rather go Surtain. I'd rather go Parsons because we just need more help defensively.
We have to rebuild that entire core. We have
just
no
took
young
a fucking
core.
receiver in the first round last year. We can't just keep taking receivers. Then we're the fucking Lions from the early 2000s. We just fucking stink. Just take receivers every fucking year.
Yeah.
Or he might end up being Josh Huff.
It's one thing to take receivers that are good. It's another thing to just take receivers.
True.
You know, and how many assets are we going to use at one position where like you run out of the ability to be allowed to take it? You know, you just run out of it. You run out of that ability. And maybe he is. Maybe he can play Travis Fulgham. But I mean, okay, then don't. Another reason, don't draft one.
Yeah,
you're first.
Yeah, see, I'm not sold that Travis Fulgham can play. I'm also not sold that he can't play. I feel like he's got a shot to be decent, but if you think he does, then you don't take a receiver. You know, you let the kid play. I'm fine with letting some of these kids play. All of our receiving core is young. Just looking at everybody's young. Like let them play. I'm fine with that.
And the one thing he has that I would say is different from a lot of the wide receivers that we have. Exactly. This guy's not a little guy. He actually he can go up and get a ball.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Now, do I think he's going to end up being freaking AJ Green 2.0? No. Do I think he's going to be anything?
I wouldn't mind giving AJ Green 1 year, $4 million, and have him give him a little mentoring.
If I didn't think, this goes like to when Tom and I talk about Derrick Rose. Like if I didn't think AJ Green would get injured walking off of the plane, yeah, I would bring him in. But it's like, Jesus, that guy's hurt everywhere else. You know, he's definitely going to be hurt here.
You have so many, like you know what I mean. You have. Right.
But that's the kind of guy we can afford, though, Berto, because you buy him, you get him like a 1 year prove it deal, you know?
Yeah, I'll
then
take
you can afford him.
It just
like
makes
that same thing with TY. He's coming off a shitty year, banged up. You know,
that
you might be able to
so
get
much sense. He makes so much sense.
The problem with TY is we have like didn't we just draft that guy in Reagor? Don't we already have that guy? Aren't we supposed to already have that guy? Like I'd rather get a bigger guy.
Like we got Watkins, Hightower, and Reagor out there, right? Like all these little guys. Like how many? You know what I mean?
Ward's not. Ward's kind of small. Ward's kind of small.
He's definitely not big.
I mean, you know, how many wide receivers are you going to bring in? So like that's my thing. Like that's why I've been on the Surtain bandwagon from Jump Street here because
Me too, Tommy.
Easy one, but
and you're just looking at it like this.
I'm not going to throw the remote.
We got to beat the teams in our division, okay? And guess what? There's some pretty good receivers in our division. Okay, Dallas has a couple of them. Redskins have one. Giants have one. Like, Darius Slayton looks like he's going to be a pretty good player. Terry McLaurin's a pretty damn good player already. To me, you have to go get another corner. And Darius Slay, I'm confident Darius Slay is fine. I know Darius Slay might not have the best year, but I'm not worried about Darius Slay. I think Darius Slay will be fine. You get him, Patrick Surtain on the other side, and he said, okay, let's go play ball. Let's go play ball. Now I'm feeling a little more confident in our defense.
I agree with you. Cerrito says, thanks for the donation, brother, the super chat. We appreciate it. He says, so who do we have at wide receiver that can demand the double team? That's all I'm saying. We need a wide receiver to scare defense. I agree with you. Cerrito, that's not our fault as fans. That's the
GM's fault. Yeah.
That's a jackass who's constantly messed. I mean,
we guess what? We could have drafted Justin Jefferson and he would fit that thing, but we didn't. We drafted Jalen Reagor. Now, I'm not out on Jalen Reagor. I'm not one of these guys that's like, oh, Jalen Reagor stinks. I think Jalen Reagor's got talent, but he's got to show me. You got to show me, Jalen. So I want to see it. You better show me.
Big show me. Yo, 162 people watching. Get us over 100 likes. Come on. Pound
that
like.
Yannick Ngakoue just went to the Raiders.
Wow. Good move for them. Yep. Good job. Good GM over there. Even though they haven't hit one yet. Good GM.
Must be nice being able to like sign some.
Well, they have what's name, right?
Yeah, I still feel like they're going in the right direction. Like they're close. I feel like the Raiders are close.
I just don't know what to think of Derek Carr. And clearly they love him because they're like, oh, he's untouchable. We're not even answering any phone calls. I don't know if I would have done that. I think Derek Carr's
good. Say, right? That's what the smart ones say. They say, oh, we know.
Oh, they're actually, oh, wait. So they're not decreasing his value by being like, oh, that guy stinks. He's a bad teammate. They're like, oh, we love him.
Yep.
Yes. You're not supposed to show your hand to everyone to see. That's why I don't understand that Howie constantly does it. And Jeffrey does it too. Shut the fuck up.
They're idiots.
Or say the opposite. You don't say what you're thinking.
They lie.
It's like you're playing a card game. You don't want everybody to know what you got.
Wills, they lie with everything else. Why didn't you lie with the quarter? You know what I'm saying?
I'm so used to people lying to me. The fucking government lies to me. Everybody lies to me. Right? No, fucking Eagles tell me the truth, though. Unreal. Unfucking real.
Yeah, and then they lose their value on their players. Pete Evans says they're going to take a receiver Thanks for the donation, Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
That'll help Hurts. Lori likes when his offense is good, but also it's pretty. Yep. And he said T.Y. is going to go to Green Bay. Possible. And
That makes sense.
Pete, if we take another receiver, Pete, I'm gonna be upset. Unless it's Jamar Chase, because I think he's the best in the draft, and I think he's has the best chance to be a superstar.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying this so we get over 100 likes on YouTube. 156 people watching, 76. We're right there. Let's go. Pound the like. Get us over 100.
76, good number. But pound the like.
If you haven't subscribed, 1098, you're 76ers.
76ers.
If you haven't subscribed, pound that too while you're at it. Carrie says, you'll need a cornerback to slow down McLaurin.
I absolutely agree. That's why I want to draft fucking Surtain. I'm right with you. Listen,
Wow.
there's good receivers in our division. I only want to talk about Dallas. Dallas locked up Dak, and I'm not one of these guys that's Dak stinks. Dak can play. And
you
guess
know
what? They got some receivers now. And fucking Terry McLaurin, good receiver. Fucking they're all over the division. There's good receivers all over the division. And just look at the league. It's a passing league. Everybody's throwing the ball. Get a fucking cornerback. You can get the best cornerback in the draft. We actually luck out because there's probably going to go 3 QBs in front of us and an offensive tackle in front of us that we don't want to take. So we actually luck out that we kind of get to take whatever we want. And you can get the best corner in the draft. You fucking do it. You do it.
And we all know that if we let Surtain, or I know people like Farley, either way, we could all see it now. Say we pass on Surtain, and Surtain ends up in Dallas, and he ends up being great.
Exactly what happened. Or this, right? Why don't we go back to the old days like we did before and just go draft 2 of them? Boom, first, second round.
Surtain and Samuel.
Yeah,
Asante Samuel and freaking Surtain, and then just go. Then done.
You want to value the linebacker position?
I feel like both times it's happened to us in our lives. It's like when we've been good, We drafted Lito and Sheldon. We drafted Bobby and traded for Troy, right? Like the same time.
Gotta have 2. But listen, at the end of the day, if you don't want to value the linebacker position, do whatever the fuck you want to do, but you got to be able to cover people, okay? So I need corners who can cover, and I need a bunch of them. And this year, there's a lot of corners in this draft that have high upside. So this is the year where first, second round, if they're the 2 best guys on the board, go corner, double dipping. Come out and say it with an identity that, you know what?
If you told me we're getting Surtain and Asante Samuel Jr., I'm good.
And
happy.
imagine this.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Fight fire with water once in a while.
Imagine this, where we come out of the draft, our first 3 picks, because I think we would all agree, we're much more worried about this defense than offense.
What up, CJ?
Even if we truly don't know who this quarterback is and who he's throwing to or who's protecting him. If we ended up with our first 3 picks being Surtain, Asante Samuel Jr., and Jabril Cox, linebacker LSU, hello. Or if you want to sub them out for Newsome or whatever, there's a million guys.
No, I'll go to linebacker from Alabama then if it's not Cox.
Mosley or Moses or whatever.
Mosley or Moses, whoever. He was banged up, but I don't give a shit in the 3rd round because I got 2 third rounders. So,
yep.
I have 2, right? 2 or 3. They got 2, right?
We have 2, and we don't have a 4th rounder. So I believe that's the case.
And then they even went in that same draft. They went Michael Lewis, if you remember. So, I got
you
no
can
problem.
even, and if you love a guy late 2nd round, you can use both thirds to go up and get him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways to come out of this draft and feel a lot better, if they go about it the right way. You know what I mean? If they go about it the right way, you can come out and go defense heavy, right, and get your O lineman and stuff like that later on in the draft.
Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Maul,
appreciate you watching, Maul. We're not here to help. We're not here to help the fan. Sorry. We're not here to help the star. Sorry.
That confirmed. Listen, Tom knows this. I'm pitched up right now. I don't necessarily take him at 6, but Surtain up until 2 weeks ago was always my guy. My number.
Pitched up? Are you pitched up?
I am.
Right. Can I talk to you real quick? Because I want to talk to everybody that's a Pitts guy out there, okay?
Yes.
And I'm not saying that I don't think he's going to be a good player, because I think he has a chance to be a good player. But name me a tight end that was taken in the top 10 that turned out to be a star.
And that's what I'm
They don't exist. And there's been a lot of them taken in the top 10. They don't exist.
You know why, honestly, and I completely understand.
Brandon Pettigrew.
Yeah, it's the
Eric Ebron.
Yeah.
Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis ended up being really good, but not where he was drafted. Stunk early. Fucking there's more. There's more. I can keep going.
The reason why I was pitched up and still am up until this point is that I am under the belief that if we took him at 9 or 11 or 12 or whatever, that's your offensive pick because he has the capability to be such a game changer in so many aspects. Then for the rest of the draft, you focus on defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your game changer on offense that could play numerous different positions. Then you go corner, linebacker, safety, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying?
Thinking Pitts over Chase?
No. Absolutely not.
At 6, no.
Absolutely
if
not.
I had to take one of them at 6, I'm taking Chase over him because I think Chase is more.
No, we're all on the same board there. And I'm a big, and I believe Pitts
I'll tell you what, I would take Smith
I believe Pitts can be
and
a
Waddle over him.
I'm worried about Waddle.
I think Pitts can be a stud in this league. I think
Everyone forgets that Jalen Waddle was the best receiver on Alabama until he was hurt.
I'm worried about him injury-wise. That's my only concern.
I'm not taking Jalen.
Listen, I wouldn't take Jalen Waddle 6. I'm just saying I would take him before I took Pitts.
I'll take him 15. I'll take him at 15, or if we went back to 20 and he dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if we do the Washington team, if he drops, I'll do that.
I think it's 13, and I hate to say it's 13, Chase, and then they're not going to take Parsons there. But
to me, it's Surtain, Parsons, Chase, and I don't want anybody else. I don't want anyone else.
I was higher on Pitts, but then the injuries, right, and like playing full seasons and putting it together like a full season of not tape but numbers, right? It's a little scary to me. Like Chase, Smith, them guys as skill position guys have done that, right? Like one guy was just the Heisman Trophy winner. So Smith, Chase, them guys just did it, right? They just did it. They were healthy. Now Chase didn't. He did it the year before, but you know what I'm saying? They've put together that full year of okay, this guy's a stud. Like Smith has been doing it for a couple of years now at Alabama. That
Waddle did it too.
I'm not saying Waddle
except for this year.
But the injury for Waddle drops him like the injuries for Pitts has to drop him.
Yeah, no, I agree. The injury for Waddle drops him. But
I'm having
someone might steal Waddle late first and get a stud though.
Common sense team, right? So to me, I think it's Surtain, and I don't want to go receiver like you're saying. Well, I've been on that wagon for a while, but I'm also not going to pass up on studs. If he's there, and I got Surtain and him there, I'm pacing the room, right? Because it's where do I go? Now, do you draft out of need or do you draft what you think's the best there, right? I mean, them two is almost like a toss up because I believe Surtain's going to be a 12-year fucking pro. So it's I
think you plug Surtain in and you just say, all right, let's go to work.
And I go to eat. Yeah,
that's how I do it.
There's no development with Surtain. It's just
I think he's ready to go. He's ready to play.
And again, it's not a little guy.
I would be okay with Chase. I would be fine if we took Jamar Chase because, like I said, I think he has the best chance to be a superstar of the receivers in the draft. Best chance to be a superstar. Not saying good. I'm saying a superstar. The best chance is Jamar Chase. So that's why I would be okay if we took him. But I want to take Surtain. And I would take Micah Parsons over him too. But they're not going to take Micah Parsons. But I will.
I'll just throw this out there real quick because I could honestly see this happening too. If either one of them are there, I could see, and I don't want, maybe for the one guy, them taking Penny Sewell or Slater.
You can't.
At 6.
You can't take Sewell, dude. We still have Dillard who hasn't played that we took in the first round.
I agree.
Can't be taking a fucking tackle.
Hold on. You can't go down the same roads because now you're saying you missed, right? Mm-hmm. If you go Jamar Chase 6, you're almost telling me you missed on regular. If you go Sewell 6, I mean, again,
you missed on Dillard.
I won't be mad at either one of them picks. You understand this? As a football guy, I'm not mad at them because both can, to me, I think you plug Sewell and you go to sleep too, right? But that being said, now you say you missed on Dillard. So how many times are we going to continue to do this?
And we know that Howie's not going to get in trouble for it. You would hope. Well, you agree that they missed. We just fucking get rid of Howie, but that ain't going to happen.
No.
What if Dillard
keep doing the same thing over and fucking over?
Dillard might cry live on air. I mean, Dillard might go live to Instagram crying. Dillard, if they went Sewell,
or he's gas masked up. Who knows?
What if this Dillard stuff is real though? The trade rumor stuff. What if they end up trading him?
For what?
I listen. I'm not taking either of the linemen. I'm not doing the linemen in the first round.
And they're going to plug in cheapness, right? Then they're going to go cheap route because they have Moata. They can plug in Moata and pay a left tackle pennies to start there. Then they're going to get cheap in those positions. And when you get cheap at quarterback and you get cheap at tackle, let me know how it goes.
I agree.
I'll tell you what, though.
What they could think that way, or they could also think the way of, you know what, Sewell at 6. So they could try trading.
And he's a lineman guy.
Again, you're not getting a first back for Andre freaking Dillard. So again, you're telling us all before we've even seen him play that it's a fucking miss already. And we've seen him play, 5 fucking games? So it continues to be a circle jerk of issues, all right, for this organization. And if you get a first back for Dillard, right, I'll come give you a handy, Howie, okay? Because you're not.
You'd be lucky to get a third for him. You'd be lucky to get a third for him.
Is dandy.
Seriously, you'd be lucky to get a third for him.
I'm not giving out a handy, but look, there's over 200 people. I'll do things for the Eagles. Wade Green, 173 now, 91 likes. Listen,
you're telling me you wouldn't give a handy out for them to win 10 games next year?
Yeah, to myself, sure. If they draft the guys I'm telling them to draft, sure.
If it was 12, I'd consider it.
Tom,
you told me we're going to go 12-4.
No, you should have asked not the win. You should be like, we got a playoff win in there. We win in a playoff.
Well, 12-4, we got to buy at least.
Yeah, you are winning a playoff. Yo, get us over 100 likes right now on YouTube. Subscribe, help us get closer to 5K. We're almost there.
Tom will give you a handy.
Yeah.
So one lucky viewer.
One lucky viewer to free giveaway today is.
Where do you guys stand on the Malik Hooker conversation?
Again,
good player.
I'll take Malik Hooker. So.
Good player.
Right. I'll say this again. Like
I don't think I've ever turned down a hooker.
We talked about this in the past. Like we're in some dire straits in some spots where there almost like isn't a name that you can tell me where I'm not like, okay. Like, you know.
Yeah. All right, sounds good.
Well, I'm saying like, would you throw, years of guarantees at him, or are you leaning more towards the 1 year prove it just because he's coming off of the torn, I think it was an ACL?
Where did he tear?
He definitely got hurt.
Yeah, he only played. He only played like 2 games this past year. I think it was a torn Achilles or torn ACL.
It's a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah, I hear you.
Which one we talking?
I need to know.
Achilles, he's probably not ready to go. I don't take him. If it's an ACL, I'm ready to go. I'm okay. The ACL has gone to the wayside. Like Tommy, Brodo, you're a child, so you won't get this. But Tommy, back in the '90s, the Achilles is now what the ACL was in the '90s. You know what I mean?
Maybe even worse. I mean, ask Booby Miles. You know what I mean? It's a real booby. Not Booby Miles. Booby. Who was that?
Y'all want to win? Put Booby in.
Put Booby in. All right. I mean, the ACL was the end all be all.
Yeah, the worst.
But if it's an ACL, I'll give him a 2-year deal. I'll give him a 2-3 year deal.
Syracuse plays 9:45 at night Friday.
It was a torn Achilles suffered in week 2 of last year.
Nope, I'm out.
1 year deal, if that.
I'm out.
1 year deal.
Achilles on a secondary player.
Malik.
No.
Does Malik play?
He plays safety, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
play free or strong because
I think he probably can play both. But
I'm saying you're going to let Wallace try to win one of the spots. Could you draft?
I would hope that he could win a spot.
Now, does he play in the same position as Rodney plays? Who's coming off an ACL? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'll just stick with Rodney. Rodney's coming off an ACL instead of going to a guy coming off an Achilles.
I'll check.
Out loud, you know what I mean?
Malik is a free safety. Yeah, free safety.
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him off the Achilles. I would say no, actually, now. I like the name, though. I always like the guy, but off the Achilles, I don't think so.
McLeod's coming off an ACL.
ACL for Rodney.
Yeah, so a little different.
The ACL is not as bad anymore. I feel like it's less of a recovery time. Guys are usually okay in 5 months, 5, 6.
Yeah, all the time.
The Achilles now is one that's like, that's a 12 to a 16 monther.
Greg Caldwell says Sidney Jones should teach you no to that.
Yes. Mm-mm. No on the Achilles. No.
Now the Achilles, he's finally.
He's finally good now. It takes a couple years.
Yeah, it takes a minute. D'Amico Ryans, if you're an Eagles fan, should tell you.
D'Amico Ryans, yep. D'Amico Ryans came in. We were like, man, D'Amico's not good. Then remember the second, you were like, oh wow, D'Amico can play again.
We were joking like, how slow is D'Amico Ryans?
Yeah, slow. Like D'Amico came in, he's slow as fuck.
My goodness, year 2, he's all over the field.
D'Amico's everywhere.
See, Do you guys agree that, like, so David Bradley says Farley needs a couple years, but he could be near Deion Sanders if he could stay healthy. You know what that says to me?
I don't know. Deion Sanders was ready to play when he walked on the field. So that's to me, you have it or you don't have it. Let's start throwing Deion Sanders out there, guys. Come on.
When I hear,
but I hear you. I mean, like, that's great. That's great. I think Farley has a ton, maybe has more upside than Surtain. People might say higher ceiling, but Surtain's ready to walk on the field and play.
Yes,
and play at a high level.
Dude, 12 years, you go Revis Island. You know, go Revis Island. That's what you're getting. Okay, I'm just going to tell people what you get. I've been yelling and screaming about it. This is lockdown, shutdown city. This is a guy who's never out of position. Go watch a million plays on him. I don't give a shit. Watch whatever you want to watch on him and get back to me. The dude's always in position to make plays. All right, he's never out of position, which is the biggest thing for corners. All right, and the guy's
footwork.
The guy has been born and bred to play corner. All right, that's what Daddy did. So if you don't think that this guy knows the position,
he's been backpedaling since he was 3. Are we kidding now?
It's a no-brainer at 6.
It's a fucking no-brainer.
Go to sleep. All right. How's he not plug and play, Goldie? Come on. He's playing alongside
He absolutely is plug and play. Absolutely is.
Come on.
Didn't even throw the ball at him last year in Alabama.
He's the most pro-ready cornerback in this draft.
Absolutely.
People are down on it, man. People are down on Surtain. I can't believe it.
I don't know why.
Man, you don't.
How can you be down on him? What do you watch? Because I've watched. So tell me what you watch.
I'll tell you exactly what
down on him.
I'll tell you exactly what it is because I saw
not as fast.
No. People start saying that, but then they look at what he actually ran, and it's like he's not slow.
No, he's not slow.
No,
and then guess what? I don't care how fast you are. Footwork. The dude is always in position. He doesn't get burned ever. He doesn't get beat. Don't even throw the ball at him.
We had plenty.
This at the next level matters.
Yes, we had plenty of guys in the past that were speedy and small. You know what I'm saying? Where did that get us? Nowhere.
Right. In the semifinal game, Notre Dame was down 1 million and still didn't throw his way. They were down 1 million and still didn't throw his way. The entire game. Like, to me, once I saw that, and I've watched a lot of college football in my day, people threw at Deion Sanders. People threw at other guys. I've never really watched a corner in college not even get targeted one time. One time when you're down 90? No. I would have signed him then. Can I make my pick now? Okay, where's Roger at? Hey, Raj, we're going to make our 6th pick right now. We're good. We've seen enough. Thank you. Time's yours, everybody else. Time's yours.
Whilst to your question on why they're down on him, it's because of this.
No, it's because of this. I don't know if we're clicking on the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Elijah, I guess, is calling Pitts elite. I'm pitsed up, but it's because of the highlight thing that's circulating to where Pitts beat out Surtain, which how many times do we say cornerbacks get beat sometimes?
Yeah, guys get beat. Guys get beat.
Sometimes. I mean, look around the league. The best ones in the league. Listen, I watched Tre'Davious White get his lunch taken from him before on their elimination night. So I don't want to. And that's the best corner in football, right? I seen Gilmore.
One of. Yeah.
I seen Gilmore. I'm just gonna run through them. I seen Gilmore, who I consider one of the best in football, get beat. I see my favorite corner in football, Jalen Ramsey, who I'll give you 3 firsts for back then, and I still would have. All right, get beat. I see everybody freaking run around giving blowjobs at Darius Slay. I watched him get beat this year plenty. So don't tell me about corners who get beat by elite. DK Metcalf came in here and told Darius Slay, "Easy, child. Easy, child."
Hey, child. Hey, child.
Okay, so guys get beat. But
yeah, it happens. Guys get beat. Guess what? The other guys get paid to play in his fucking league too, guys. I love that. Everyone just thinks that.
Right? Everybody knows that. Darius Slay is the fast corner. He's good because he's physical and he's big, right? So now I can get 2 big physical guys. Guess what I go through to everybody? I get fucking handsy with everybody who walks through here. Everybody's going to get felt up. It's like fucking TSA, right? TSA, right? Back in the day where they really were fucking aggressive. Like 02-ish.
Real aggressive.
02-ish, where you walk through. It was woo.
03.
Yeah. 02, really. 02.
03.
02.
Grab your balls and cough.
Ball. Bend over.
Goldie. Pitts ate him up because Pitts is a freaking specimen. He's a tight end playing wide receiver.
I love Pitts.
First off, did he eat him up? because Alabama won that game. I'm sure you covered him a lot. Well, you see a play where he had a
said he gave up over 100 to
God.
him. He gave, but again, somebody said earlier, D-Hop handed it to Tre'Davious White. It happens, guys. And again, I think people are missing this. We're bringing in Surtain to play the number 2. Slay is our number 1.
Yeah.
We need Surtain in a couple years when Slay is going to be that number 1. So if you get a guy 6 overall who's pro-ready to be number... You know what, Wells? Because of this conversation, I'm back on Surtain. I'm back on Surtain now.
He's back.
I'm back.
He's back.
Yeah, because Surtain is getting disrespected.
I don't like that now. I like that you're back because I've been on the Surtain for a while, and you shifted the Pitts.
Yes, I started watching some. I did some film study, and then I left the nest.
Well, then now I'm back. You made me like Pitts too much.
Yes.
Right? Brought me into the Pitts train, got me off of Surtain, and now like right. The more we talk,
listen. Pitts could be great. I just want to reiterate to everybody that's commenting about Pitts. Name me a tight end that went in the top 12 that was ever great. Because I know a lot of them that went top 12. None of them ever been great. That's all I'm saying. There's no background for this. Okay? There's been a bunch of them that have been picked high. How Evan Ingram was Pitts. Everyone was jerking off to Evan Ingram's amazing. Evan Ingram dropped the ball for us to win a game this year. Thanks a lot, Evan. Evan Ingram is not that good, right? You would say he definitely hasn't reached up to his, I think he was 11th maybe, or 12th. He was right around there. These guys that are drafted high tight end position, they've never been a star. I don't know any of them that have been a star ever. Brandon Pettigrew. Who's the tight end for Detroit right now?
Hawkinson.
Yeah, he's not a star.
Well,
Pettigrew not a star. Ebron not a star. There's so many.
Wells, this is what I want everybody to do. Okay, nobody does anything but watch.
Kel Winslow Jr.
Nobody does.
Vernon Davis.
Nobody does anything but watch highlight tapes and fall fucking in love. Okay?
Oh, but guess what? You can pull a highlight tape out of your ass. What did they do the rest of the fucking game? Alabama won the game.
I want the best corner in this draft right here. I want a guy whose daddy was good at it. I want that pedigree right in my building. And you know what else I fucking want? A goddamn winner. All right. I want a winner who everybody raises how goddamn good of a cornerback he is. Everybody with common sense talks about his footwork, right? His positioning, everything. How he's never out. He's never beat on plays. So you guys can all take the rest. All right. The Seattle Seahawks built a defense around a bunch of long, fucking aggressive corners, okay? Long, aggressive corners, right? And if you go out and get a guy, he doesn't have to be the fastest guy in the world. They keep up, all right? They keep up. So I'm so sick of it. A 4.4 compared to a 4.45. What did he run? What was his? What did he run? Somebody tell me what he ran since everybody's all 40'd up all the time. What did he run?
I think someone asked us a couple weeks ago. I think it was a 4.5 or something.
It was a high 4.4, 4.48 maybe. It wasn't slow.
Yeah. And again, he's big. If he was small and he ran that, okay. He's big. Some people thought he would be a safety, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a big corner.
Elijah, he doesn't get the opportunities for turnovers.
Elijah threw the ball at him, Elijah.
Come
on. D-Mac and Wayne said 4.5 he ran. Okay.
Okay, everybody told me how fast Jalen Reagor was. He looked slow as shit. So you can all take the 40 times and shove him up your ass. John Ross ran a 4.11. All right, and he fucking stinks. So I don't care about 40 times.
Somebody asked about John Ross. Somebody asked about John Ross earlier.
I think Quez Watkins is better than John Ross today.
John Ross stinks.
Yes, and he's plays like I think he's played like 3 games his entire career. He's always hurt.
Another guy I can't get on. Another guy's not on the field ever. Yeah. No thanks.
This was my comp right here. This was my comp. That was my comp. Right? You want to comp him to somebody?
4.48. Yeah. So what are we worried about here?
Comp him to Revis. All right? Don't tell me that this dude can't play bump and run and press dudes to death and be the handiest son of a bitch in the country. Okay? And that, at the end of the day, takes guys off routes and makes it harder for offenses. You want to make it harder for offenses? You got 2 big corners. You can go actually have a good defense this year. You go bump everybody in the world and let your front go to work.
Imagine how good our red zone defense would be with 2 big corners, please. Not a little guy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just tired of getting beat constantly.
Yeah, but okay. Okudah, he's a rookie this year, right? He was just drafted. So,
yeah, he went 3 to Detroit.
All right, and I don't believe, and that's Detroit, and I don't believe he was 3 worthy. So I believe he was maybe top 10 because, but he went too early.
I like
they took him because they got
And guess what? Okuda stepped in and had to cover the best receiver for every team. And he got eaten up a little bit this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns out to be a good player. Just give him some time. But he wouldn't be put in that position here. Okay? He would step in and be covering the second best receiver on teams.
Mm-hmm. True.
And you actually can put Avonte Maddox in the slot, and you actually feel better about your secondary.
Yeah, then you think, oh my God, you know what? What was you would say a liability has now become maybe something that is a strength of ours.
And then to Greg Caldwell's point, he said it was super frustrating watching Schwartz never having our corners press at the line. Imagine these guys playing properly. I'm not trying to bag on Jim Schwartz, but again, if they actually play anything other than the prevent defense, maybe they'll be in a better position to succeed also.
And right, how about what Name says? I mean, less pressure on your safeties. You're going to start a young safety in Kevon Wallace probably, okay? And you don't know, Rodney will probably be back by September because, again, ACL injuries, you know,
he's not as terrible anymore.
He'll come back in 8 months, right? He can back in 9 months. So whatever. Even if not, you're probably going
6'7", really.
You might have somebody younger out there to start instead of Rodney.
It'll probably be Epps.
Maybe not. We don't know, right? We don't know. We'll just assume Rodney's
Omar?
Yeah. He'll take pressure off of everybody. Now, how are you feeling about that secondary? If I can give you Surtain, this is a Maddox for argument's sake in the slot. All right. Depending on if you somebody else. Slay, right? Wallace and McLeod. I feel a lot better. Now, my two young guys are a fucking Clemson fucking winner and an Alabama winner. So now I'm actually putting some guys with some goddamn rings out here that have played at the highest goddamn fucking level.
Rings, pedigree. I like it all.
And you know what the secondary allows us to do? How many times have we said it? If they have confidence in their secondary, it allows us to sell out with our front seven. It allows us to sell out and go after the quarterback.
Right. How about this too? Right. Nobody talks about this.
And you know what? I would love Mika Parsons. I've been saying that. Sorry.
Hold on. I'm going to forget. I forgot a million thoughts already. Let me remember this one because I feel like this is a good one. When you talk about the corner position, the most underrated thing about it, right, is the ability to tackle. The ability to want to tackle in goddamn space. And I'll put my whole reputation on it right fucking now. That dude tackles in space. Simple. So you want to talk about getting beat A, B, C, and D. You got to stop the run game too. And you got to tackle after guys make catches. Dude doesn't miss tackles. Dude likes to tackle, gets his beak wet. I'm not saying it's the end-all be-all on corners, but it's a big part of it. The better corners tackle. J.O. Ramsey get paid a lot of money, still tackles, right? You got to want to tackle in this league to be one of the best, all right? And that's another thing that I love about him is the ability that he doesn't care. He'll come up and hit you. So, to me, I love that side. Darius, good tackler, okay? So now I got good tacklers. Rodney McLeod, pretty good tackler. All right. So I got good tacklers out there. The biggest thing about your secondary is to limit big plays. The way you limit big plays isn't somebody going over top of you. It's somebody
tackles.
Yeah, somebody taking a slant 80 on your ass, and you're like, what? What happened? Right? Like one thing to get beat over top. Everybody gets beat over top. You get beat on a little screen, wide receiver screen, stuff like that is what kills you defensively, right?
And guess how that happens? Broken tackles.
And we saw a ton of that last year. Another reason our defense stunk.
We couldn't tackle anybody last year.
Yeah, so the way I look at this, guys, is you would have a defense that tackles already too. I like that, Jesse. I don't want to compare them to greats because I've been doing it too. But these are fair comps of size, strength,
and he's a much better prospect coming out than Sherman was.
Yeah, and common goddamn sense for once in the war room. And we all want to Kayvon Wallace, guys. A lot of us did, we would have taken him in the third round. And they took Taylor, and they got lucky to still get him in the fourth. Yeah. Now, maybe he can't play. Maybe he stinks. I don't know. But I'll take my chances on Clemson cats, Bama cats, LSU cats than I will the Stanfords and the other bullshit.
And I'll tell you what, I'm on video here saying that I would like to take Mika Parsons, which I would. Mika Parsons would be my second pick there because I just think you look around the league, man. Every good defense has a linebacker out there just wreaking havoc, And Mika Parsons is that guy. If you watch him play at Penn State, he's that guy. So I would love that. I know they're not going to take him, but I would love him as well. I will say though, I'm intrigued. I don't know about Davion Taylor. I don't know. Hopefully he can get on the field this year and show something. But I'm intrigued by some of our young linebackers. I thought Alex Singleton played well, so I'm not. We have to get Mika Parsons, but I would be okay with Mika Parsons also.
What about
like Ryan said, Cox later on? I'm okay with Mosley or Moses. I'm okay with. There's some linebackers that you can get later on and still address it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, Parsons a game changer. I'd much rather go Surtain there, though. Like, to me, I like Parsons a lot.
Oh, Surtain's my number one pick there.
But I have the ability to have an identity now. Like, I have a really ability to be the big bad wolf, right? You're coming in here thinking you're scoring 40, and I'm punching you in the fucking mouth. That's the difference at the cornerback position when you have guys who want to be physical. You can come set the tone and make things hard on other offenses and disengage wide receivers. Because the second you start taking receivers off routes and they ain't getting the football, guess what happens? Guy, you know what I mean?
They start getting pouty. They start whining, start arguing on the fucking sideline. You know, receivers are divas. They don't like when they can't get the ball.
I know we've been asked about this name a couple times with linebackers. What about Van Noy? Kyle Van Noy?
I like Ted's Vandals avatar he's got going on there. It's old school.
That is right about that, the Andy years. Yeah, I'll take Van Noy. I mean, I'll take, again.
Love Kyle Van Noy.
We're in a position
he's not very fleet of foot, but Kyle Van Noy's a good tackler and a guy that's been a winner.
You know, and that's the thing, right? You know, Pat's just signed Aguilar, Kyle said.
Nelson? Pat's signed everybody, man.
Wow. Good for them. They're back. They're trying to be back.
So they've got Kendrick Bourne and Aguilar and N'Keal Harry right now, along with Jonnu and Mr. Cam Newton.
Jonnu Smith, Cam Newton. Well, they signed Matthew Judon, who I like.
Now he's going to have a good year there. Watch.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Cam
I think Jonnu Smith's going to have a good year. They may have given Jonnu Smith slightly too much money, but Jonnu Smith is going to have a good year.
Oh, he's going to be open. He's going to be open because now they actually have some like guys who can take tops off, and they actually have wide receivers. Like, they didn't have wide receivers. Like, I'm not crowning the Patriots right now, but they actually have wide receivers.
I agree, name brand. You watch, Aguilar's going to be good now.
Well, he had a good year last year.
Yeah, he had a good year.
Yeah, solid year.
Nelson is. I mean, Nelson's never going to be a number one, but Nelson can catch you 10 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson can take a top off. Nelson knows how to run routes. Like, Nelson consistent catching footballs has been his biggest issue. I mean, more than anything else. I mean, but
we never gave him too much shit about getting open. It was about catching a fucking ball.
No. Yeah, Bill is salty. Bill is salty that Brady won. Yup, he's spending money. Robert Kraft said, I'll put the masseuse on hold. We got to spend some money here.
And he said, you know what he did too? He's like, go back. Everyone who was going up against us in that Super Bowl, sign them. Okay, Aguilar, Jalen Mills. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys that we saw in that Super Bowl.
Listen, their team's good. I mean, I'm not saying they're the Bills, but they're good. They're very good right now.
They're better. I would say just because. Well, it's tough because I would say.
Well, he's also salty that they lost the division. You know. And if you look at it, the division for the AFC East is pretty tough. They're getting tougher. The Bills don't look like they're going to go away. They got a young, good quarterback. They're not going away. And the Dolphins, Jory's still out on Tua, but the Dolphins are getting better and better. I like the way that they're heading. And Bill probably knows this better than anybody because they got a guy from Bill's tree down there coaching for him. So,
true.
To me, this is a move that had to be made for the Patriots. I expect the Patriots to be good again this year. They'll be battling for a division. They'll have Hightower back. They'll have Chung back. Guys that sat out this past year. Patriots will be good again.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, I wouldn't take a TCU player if you told me it was Brian Dawkins right now.
Oh, I can't do
that. I mean, like I know Moore expected to be the best safety in the draft. I get it. I've watched him play. Nope.
Jalen Reagor was supposed to be Deshaun Jackson, Tyreek Hill. So I'm good.
I'm good. I'm passing on TCU. I'm sorry, Prism.
I'm not out on Reagor yet, though, guys. I know you two seem to be a little out on Reagor. I'm not out.
No, it's not out.
I'm not out.
I'm not out.
Talking, go play. Like, I'm not out on nobody. I'm the one giving Jalen Hurts a glass half full. I'm going to try to give Jalen Reagor a glass half full. But if you don't produce, you're going to hear from me. And if you do, then guess what? I'll be the happiest guy around and say, you know what? I was wrong for being upset about those two picks.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, prove us all wrong. I don't want to be out on anybody going into their second year. I still want to not be out on Umbrella Boy yet. Geez, God, these are high round picks. Yeah. I don't want to be out on any of them. But they're making it hard. Even Miles.
I'd have cut that dude already.
Shut up.
I don't know why he hasn't been cut yet.
He's not on Twitter saying he's going to have a big year.
He's probably too afraid.
Yeah, well, it should be. Umbrella can't protect you from the sun on Twitter. So, I mean, be careful.
A lot of truth there.
But these dudes are all talking up a storm. I mean, go play. I'm tired of the talking. I'm sick of it. If he's Davon Austin, I'll punch myself square in the face.
Josh Huff.
Davon Austin was so good at West Virginia. I just remember thinking, like, I wonder if this guy's speed's going to play in the NFL. Nope, it didn't.
Well, Sam, I mean, I know he was banged up, and that's why I always give young wide receivers a little bit of a leash, right? I'm always a leash guy. But, I mean, all right. I mean, I just got to see.
You got to show me. That's all. You got to show me.
Didn't finish
There was a couple flashes late season. He had some flashes, I'd say. But he's still, to me, he didn't look that explosive.
He doesn't go up and get balls. He doesn't finish routes. He's not explosive speed-wise. So it's like, okay, and he can't stay healthy. So what is he?
I'm not going to give him like
he's supposed to be explosive speed-wise.
Yeah, I'm not going to give him a healthy route yet, right? Because it's only 1 year. You know what I mean? Like if he's banged up next year, then I'm going to say, okay, never can stay healthy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Here we go. But I'll give the only thing I don't care about all the rest. Show me the explosive speed everybody crowns you over, right? I mean, that's as simple as that. Like, dude, okay, you don't go up and get balls, you don't finish routes, whatever. Then be the fast guy on the field. Because every time you touch the ball, I didn't think you were the fast guy on the field. There was a guy we drafted in like the 17th round, and Quez Watkins, who looked faster in his one catch than you did all year. So, like, that's concerning.
I'll tell you what, you're right. He did look faster.
Like, I was like, oh, well, somebody.
But when Quez went to the house, I was like, who was that?
Yeah.
And Hightower, he can't catch for the life of him, but at least he can create separation. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jalen Reagor's never created separation ever.
Or you just take Justin Jefferson, like we all talked about, and you're not in this position.
Or take any other position ever. Any other position.
Quarterback's still here.
Yeah.
I don't know. You take Justin Jefferson, this whole thing might be different. And I don't care what people say. Oh, a different offense. Nope. Players make plays, baby. I don't give a shit what offense.
One guy can catch a ball, the other guy can't. That's the difference.
Yeah, dude was open all year. I'm sure they'll tell you, oh, he's got out and failing on his other side.
Oh, Doug would have ruined him. Yeah, clearly. He would have ruined him.
And now we're playing it all on Doug. It's the same Doug that got told stop running the football after they beat Green Bay, right? 2 years ago. So, I mean, I know I've been a Doug supporter. I wasn't ready to fire him. I didn't blame this on him. I'm okay with it. We move on from it. I'm not an ex-girlfriend. But the more shit I'm hearing, the more I fucking knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about. So everybody out there that tried telling me, right, on Facebook and Twitter that, oh, well, he's bad coach and bad play design and all this shit. Yeah, you know what? Guess the reason he threw the ball 50 times a game? Because the owner was begging for it. Jerk-offs. Do you think this guy didn't know?
Yeah, he still was shitty the last 2 years. I don't care what you tell me. I was okay with it.
Well, this roster was shitty the last 2 years, too.
I agree, but I don't think Doug coached up to par last 2 years.
You can always
say that. I'll say that.
You can only rally the troops for so many years, Brian. I mean, how many years do you want this guy to overcome? Think about this. How many years as a coach are you supposed to overcome? Injuries? Right, injuries is one thing. They overcame that for 2 years. Now you want him to overcome injuries and shit picks? Wow, with the Giants?
Is that a prediction or is that like a thing?
If that's real, Dylan, then Patrick is the pick at sixth. And if you don't, I might burn the complex down now.
Yeah. Now the Giants just got better at receiver then.
I don't see anything on my screen.
I haven't seen that anywhere yet. So until we
No.
I'm not saying Doug. I'm not saying Doug was perfect the last year and a half per se.
We weren't ready to play any games. That's
okay.
all.
I'm just saying this roster.
To me, I'm not saying that Doug's a bad coach because obviously, listen, he's got to be the best coach in our franchise history because he won a fucking Super Bowl. But obviously, it's probably Andy. But to me, Doug, the number one thing a coach has to do is be ready, have the team ready to play. And we haven't been ready to play in 2 years. Every game we're down 10-0. It's the same fucking thing every time. And we just don't look ready to play ever. And to me, that's on the coach. And so that's why I was fine with firing him.
Is it? Or was it on the quarterback?
Well, that was your boy, though. So was it on the quarterback?
Both of my boys. I'm just saying, when the more reports come out that nobody's allowed to coach them, according to Jeffrey Lurie, you got to come to Jeffrey Lurie to coach them. I mean, this is weird. So you can't.
So is that true? What
This is all the shit that was written. I'm just telling you what's written. I'm not telling you true, false, or indifferent. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't believe half of this shit, but if half of it's even true, think about this. Stop running the football, throw the football, blah, 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 right? And then you can't coach up guys unless you're going through the owner. You can't coach up your quarterback, okay? Nobody can tell him what to do. That was written in the McLean article. All that was written. It's crazy. Yeah,
Reagor ran circles around Patrick Peterson.
That was Alshon, actually, first off.
Reagor did not run circles around Patrick Peterson.
He wasn't even matched up against Patrick Peterson. That was Alshon Jeffrey.
No, I think he beat him on 2 plays, but didn't he drop one where he beat him? I mean, listen.
Dropped like 2 a game.
Let's not start touting Jalen Reagor yet, okay? I'm willing to give Jalen Reagor a do-over for this year. Jalen Reagor did not have a very good year. And it doesn't make it better that the guy picked after you had a fucking phenomenal year.
Five guys after him had better years. Look at the
guy right after him had the best fucking year that a rookie receiver's ever had.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, listen,
literally right after him.
But listen, we're moving on from Doug and Carson. So, now it's Sirianni and the Jalen Hurts era. So, you give him 16, 17 games, whatever it is, and you try to put talent around them. You're trying to put a roster together. That it seems like they're still trying to compete, per se. So, they're halfway in, right? Because of these restructures, it puts them halfway in. Yeah. So now it's like, well, this draft can be important, and what low-level free agent moves are you able to pull off that are like, okay, that's a good solid player, defensively, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to matter. I mean, it's really going to matter. We're really going to find a lot out this year. We're going to find out if Nick Sirianni can coach, right? Because we don't even know that, right? I mean, we don't know. We don't know nothing. I mean, I like a breath of fresh air. Well, so I'm not against Doug being gone. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I like something new, a new toy. But we don't know nothing either yet. So I don't want to say he can't coach or can coach. I don't know. We're going to find out. I like that he's 38. I like that he's younger, right? So let's see. Let's see if he can get guys to play like you were talking about, right? Let's see if guys are ready to play. Let's see if he can develop a quarterback. Let's see if he can develop all the things I was told that, Doug struggled with. Let's find out. We're going to. So
a little extra thing on this Yannick Ngakoue deal. So it ended up being a 2 years, $26 million deal. And according to Schefter, back when, remember this time, it was almost 12 months ago, where it was like the trade Yannick thing and a bunch of Eagles fans wanted him. So obviously he ended up going to the Vikings, but at one point it was going to be he was going to be going to the Raiders, but that deal got nixed at the very last second. So they were in on him then. It was like 99% chance he would have been a Raider after the trade last year. So it makes a ton of sense why they got him now.
Patriots today was Jonnu Smith, Matthew Judon, Godwin Chow, or whatever the fuck you say that guy's name, Godchow, Jalen Mills. A lot of moves for the Pats today.
Patriots are right now, to me, on paper, a 10-11 win football team. So we'll see.
And we don't even know what they do at 15. They can get a freaking quarterback. They can get Waddle if he falls. I mean, they can do a lot of things.
They could. I
would not be shocked if the Patriots are looking to get a QB in this draft.
Mac Jones. If Trey Lance falls, they would take him, but I think it's probably going to be Mac Jones.
I think Mac Jones is a perfect fit there.
I agree.
You know who I like? If you can't get Trevor Lawrence, or I do like Zach Wilson, but he's going to go too high. To me, the guy that's not going to go that high, that I kind of like, is the kid from Florida. I like Trask. I do. I think that Trask can be a player. I told
Tom last week. I said, part of me is kind of worried because of the Brian Johnson, the quarterback's coach, who's now with us. He was at Florida. It kind of worries me. Like, oh my God, would they take another quarterback in the second? Trask.
Yeah, but can you get him in the third? No.
I doubt it. I don't want, nothing against the kid, nothing against Trask. It's going to be
listen, I'm not saying we should take him. I kind of like the kid. I like the kid.
Trask could be a steal. somebody late. I think it's like later on, not in the first round. Like,
No, I don't think he's a first rounder. No.
Yeah, I think Trask is a steal for somebody in the second or third. He's really
He could be.
Yeah, like I think he's really.
I mean, he performed really well last year in the SEC against some of the better competition. He threw the ball well, really well. I like the kid. I really do. I think he showed a lot of mocks. I don't know. I would be like, if I was the Patriots fan and the Patriots were able to get him in the second or third, I'd be pretty happy.
So like a Waddle in the first and then Trask in the second if you're them.
Yeah, maybe Devonta Smith in the first.
Dan, are you talking about?
Listen, receivers always drop.
Yeah,
remember, last year we were saying, there might be 3 receivers taking the top 10 and then none of them were taking the top 10. Like receivers always drop.
Saying he was without Pitts and his number one wideout in that bowl game. So, take that for what it is. But I would assume that affected his performance. I mean, he was a Heisman finalist. He had a monster year. He played in the SEC. He's top.
Guess what though? He had a good second half in that game. If I remember correctly, he did have a bit first half though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I like the kid though. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I'm just saying as a guy that's not going to be, and I'm not saying the Eagles should take him at all, but a guy that's not going to be a top 10 pick quarterback wise. That's a guy you can get maybe second, third round. Is a guy that I like is Kyle Trask. If you're a team that needs a quarterback and you don't want to take him too high, that's a guy I kind of like.
I think there's a serious. More I think about it, I think there's a serious chance the Eagles will take him if he fell. Not in the first, obviously, and probably not.
We can't take another quarterback in the first 3 rounds. We need too much.
I agree.
We need too much.
I just wouldn't be surprised.
Steven,
I don't want it. I just wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I mean, it is a factory. So
Steven
says, and he's got the head coach there.
It is a factory.
Steven says N'Keal Harry. No,
he can't play.
Stinks.
No, he's a big receiver, but no, I'm good.
Yeah, but he's under contract still, right? I don't think he's going anywhere.
So no, they're saying we can trade for him.
He's still pretty young. He could break out. You never know for them. But I don't think he's very good now.
No, not at all. Kellen Mond. I know people are Kellen Mond's jumping up boards, but I don't know. I mean, I don't even need to throw a quarterback because
because I don't want to take one.
No, so I mean, my whole thing is what other guys can you get, and what kind of like low level moves free agency can you pull off, right? Because it's not like there's a bunch of unsigned guys out there that can help you.
Leonard Floyd going back to the Rams, official.
Makes sense. How about like J.N. Brown from like Tennessee? Like they got good linebacker and core, right? Like there's some like there's some like lower level guys you can try to bring in here, right? To help you out a little bit.
Here, I'll give you. So I have a list. What position group do you want, Tom? Like lower level. I have a bunch of names in front of me.
I would like linebacker and
the end.
Linebacker, yeah. Give me linebacker and corner. Let's talk there.
Okay, so linebacker. These are the lower level guys.
When you say lower level, you're saying what? After second round, or like what? What are we talking here?
No, we're talking free agency, right, Tom?
Oh, free agency. Okay,
yeah. We're talking like lower level guys that can actually be signed. All right, like realistic names, not like Kenny Golladay or any of these names.
I got you. Yeah, bring them up.
Yeah, give me some linebackers.
Christian Kirksey, linebacker from the Packers, 29 years old.
Yeah. No, I'm not crazy about that name.
No.
They can't stop the run.
No.
KJ Wright, linebacker, Seahawks, 32.
I'm a KJ Wright fan. He's getting a little older, but I am a fan. Always been.
Top gap, sure. Yep.
Let's see here. BJ Goodson, linebacker, Browns, 28.
Oh, that's not a bad name. BJ Goodson's not bad. That's not a bad name.
Nicholas Moreau, linebacker, Raiders, 26.
Yeah, I'm not sure about him.
Devondre Campbell, linebacker, Cardinals, 28. And you've got Eric Wilson, linebacker, Vikings, 27.
I do like Eric Wilson.
And then you said cornerback, Tom?
Yeah, I actually like J.N. Brown here. J.On. I guess that's how you say his name. J.On. Brown. Went to UCLA. Had 76 tackles last year in 10 games.
Okay.
Like that's a lot of fucking that's a lot of tackles in 10 games. I know he had a little elbow.
It's about 80 game.
Little elbow issue, but I mean, it's a lot of games for a good defense, right? So it's like a good defense there too. But I like that side of it, and he's only 26.
Okay.
I like that name a little bit.
Cornerback, you've got Brashad Breeland, cornerback Chiefs, 29.
Not a fan.
No. And by the way, fam, this is a list that was made like a couple weeks ago, so some of these guys could have already been signed. I'm just giving you kind of the pool. Jason Verrett, cornerback 49ers, 30 years old.
I don't hate it, but
Yeah, I don't hate the name.
Yeah.
This one's a little interesting to me. Desmond King, cornerback Titans, 26.
I like Desmond King.
Yeah, Des King, he's not terrible.
Listen, I like their defense.
But if we're drafting one of these guys, if we're picking up one of these guys, then that means that we're probably not drafting Surtain, I would assume.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but
not necessarily. Because you do need players back there.
You need players, I agree.
You know what I mean? I mean, who's their safety? They have a safety up. The Titans too.
Kenny Vaccaro?
No, not Vaccaro. Look, I just had it up too.
Pons? Don't they have a safety named Pons? I don't know.
See. I'll go to the top of the list. Is he a bigger name, Tom?
I know Desmond King they got listed as a safety. Did Desmond King been a safety?
He's listed as a cornerback here.
Weird.
But it could be like a Jalen Mills thing where he's playing both.
Here's another weird little name corner-wise for you guys. Ready? Awuzie from the Cowboys.
I think I'm not a fan.
25 years
old. I know he's your guy. I know you like him.
I like Awuzie. I think Awuzie can play. Awuzie can play. Bad year.
I wouldn't die on that hill. I don't know about that.
I'm not dying on it, but he doesn't.
I don't know about
you talk about him a lot. You bring him up a lot.
He played well enough that they got fucking torched this year.
Well, true.
By everybody.
He had to go be the number one with the loss of Byron Jones, and as Saul, not a number one, but played well as that number two guy. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not like giving him a 4 or 5 year deal here. You know what I mean? You're talking about a 1 or 2. You're talking about like a 2 year deal. For a 25-year-old. Like some guys go other places and they because the year before he had a really good year. The year before he had
I agree. Listen. I'm not going to just judge a guy based off one season. I'm just saying it's not a good look when you're like the worst pass defense of all time. It's not a good look.
No, I mean,
and you're the top corner on the team.
Oh, do you like Awuzie as a Cowboys fan? Like, do you still want him back? Like, would that be a little bit of a steal for us if we stole him from you a little bit? Because your defense stinks. So I would assume you'd want.
Molly Mall.
Ron Darby just went to Denver on a 3-year deal.
Who? Where'd he go?
Ronald Darby. Denver. Yep.
The Broncos.
A good move by Denver. I like Darby.
So he replaces, and I was going to bring up this guy's name. Now that he's a free agent, it would obviously be on a cheap deal. AJ Boye.
AJ Bouye.
Yeah. AJ Boye again with AJ Boye, right?
Great. He's a guy he's played with great corners a lot.
When he played with Ramsey, he was a pimp.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, would he be good with Slay?
Exactly. That's my same thing with Awuzie. Like, you might be able to get who can you get for less? That's the question. Like, because we're in that kind of situation. So, like, are we gonna have to pay too much for him compared to Awuzie?
I think a guy like Boye who was just cut and he's now, I think he's been banged up the last couple of years also. Who's suspended? CJ, not Boye. I don't think
Boye wasn't. He didn't have it that bad of a year last year. I didn't think.
I don't believe so. No, but there was something with him that was going on. I don't think he's suspended though. I don't know what CJ's saying. I think you would probably have to pay a little bit more for Boye than Awuzie, just because, to Wilson's point, Awuzie struggled last year. And Molly says, yeah, I want Awuzie back because he missed most of the season. That was our problem. And he was banged up last year also, Awuzie.
That's why I like these young guys. That's why I stood on the hill about not giving up on Sidney Jones. Because, like, these young guys, you just don't know. Like, they turn into something after 3 years sometimes. Like, some guys take longer than others. There's no rhyme or reason for it.
The rhyme or reason is because the NFL is fucking hard. And it's tough. Like, there's such a big difference between college football and the NFL. The speed difference. Just sometimes it takes guys a little time to adjust. Some guys never adjust.
Yep.
Gronk apparently re-signed on a 1 year, according to Steven.
Makes sense. Well, why would you?
And Victor, we've been talking about this for a while now, but I mean, a lot of us want Surtain, but we would be okay with Jamar Chase. You know, we're not going to complain if they took Jamar Chase, but we want Surtain.
And we're not fighting nobody for Chase.
Bill says, question, guys, where does Patrick Peterson play this year? Well, I'm sure some Eagles fans still, like the last 6 years, will say they want him. I think he's done. I think he's been done.
I'll pass.
Yeah, I mean, he's still probably solid enough, but he's getting old. He's definitely, his best days are behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's not, you know.
O.J. Howard went back to Tampa also?
Well, he come back off injury. But
Yeah.
back.
Oh, I thought he was saying like he signed an extension or something.
Yeah, I think he's saying he's back too.
Yeah, no, he'll be back off injury. Yeah.
Yeah, their offense is explosive. Yep.
Yeah, and Brady's making a pitch for them to get Odell Beckham. I saw that.
Yep, they're not done. Wouldn't surprise me.
That'd be crazy.
Um,
And he wants them to bring Brown back too. Imagine that. They Godwin, Evans, Odell, and AB with Howard and Gronk. Tom might have a pretty good year.
Joe says about Ertz. Yeah, we talked about it before. I mean, we should, but they did this to themselves.
Yeah, Joe. The issue is that every team in the league knows that he's not gonna be on the team next year. So they just know that we're gonna cut him. So it's like, why are we gonna give you a lot? Like they're willing to give a fifth or sixth to, hey, we want to get this guy, so we'll give a fifth or sixth to hope that we accept it. But if not, they release him, then we'll try to sign him. You know, you figure some of the teams might be willing to give a fifth or sixth because they're like, we kind of want him, and then we don't have to like outbid another team for him if we can get the Eagles to fucking trade him to us. But again, we're not going to overpay for him because we know they're going to cut him.
So I'm looking here. I'm seeing this now. The Philadelphia Eagles are in on former Colts quarterback Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I'm here. I heard a lot about Jacoby. It makes sense.
Why?
Makes sense, guy. Listen, I don't dislike Jacoby. He's a pro's pro. He's a guy that can get it done as a backup.
He's not trying to take his job, which is what I want right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that he would be more of a mentor to Jalen.
Yeah. Hey, compete.
I'm okay with Jacoby.
Compete for the job, but it's really not your job, right? You know what I mean? One of them deals.
I'll tell you what, I'm fine with Brissett. I'm fine with Tyrod Taylor. Like, I'm fine with either of those. It doesn't really do anything for me.
I'd take Brissett first. Brissett knows the offense. He's been in the offense. I would say probably better guy to help teach Jalen the offense. I would take Brissett first.
Remember, quarterback room is important.
Yeah, listen, huge.
Josh McCown was huge for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of shit matters.
Nick Foles was good.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to have good quarterbacks in
He was good for Carson pre-statue. You know what I mean?
Pre-statue, yeah.
Pre-statue.
Well, even post-statue, if Carson get out of his fucking fields one time.
Yep, true.
To both of your points, and again, I don't want to say I don't want this because I don't think it, like, I don't really care about the backup quarterback position in a year where we're not really trying to win big. But I could honestly see them doing and bringing back Chase Daniel. Because he's that quarterback room type of a guy.
Yeah, but I feel like he was just with Trubisky, he stinks. So, yeah,
Chase Daniel is a guy that doesn't know the offense already, like Brissett, so he's got to step down there, and he's not even as good as, like, if we had to go to him, I would trust Brissett over him as well.
Oh no! Like, if they went to him, it's like it. I'm saying they bring him in as a locker room guy, not as like, oh my god, we believe he's an option that can win games for us.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I'll just bring back Sudfeld in the 3-hole. You know what I mean? That is my third stringer. You know what I mean? Because he's been at least here. You know what I mean? And that'd be a good lock. Like, that'd be a good quarterback room. You know, if you had Hurts, Jacoby, and Sudfeld, that's a good quarterback room.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, your two backups have been around the league long enough. So,
Will Fuller, I'd love Will Fuller in a 1-year deal. I don't think he's going to have to sign a 1-year deal. I assume someone's going to give him multiple years.
Yeah, until he gets off the plane and hurts something.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a guy. I know he's a guy that's hurt a lot, but he's a guy that puts up numbers when he ain't hurt, though.
I like him going to the Packers. I could see him in Green Bay.
Here we go.
Tried getting him earlier.
That's a good name.
Here we go with culture problem because players go elsewhere and play better. It's been happening in Philly forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a culture thing. It could be a bad GM thing. Everything.
I mean, it happens a lot of places too, guys. We just see it a lot more in Philly because we concentrated on here.
Yeah, I mean, we want to Super Bowl with these guys, so I think they played pretty well here.
Like you think the Chargers are like, oh shit, that happens to us all the time. It happens to Chargers guys too. Drew Brees, fuck, just retired today. Happy retirement, Drew.
Why would you let Suggs go if he's your third? Who cares about your third string quarterback? Yeah, he's a dud. He's their third string quarterback. That's what they are.
Yeah,
right?
Name me a third string around the league that's good.
They still might be the best third stringer in football.
There's only like 19 good quarterbacks in the league, guys. In case you haven't noticed, kind of a tough position to play. Decently tough.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God. We've gotten more comments about Sudfeld than anything else. Like, oh my God, he has to go. Why? Because
he came in and played like shit. What did you expect him to do?
He stinks.
Expect him to play well. Carson and Jalen played like shit too. Just get rid of Jalen too. Then
See, we know the Eagles aren't going to be good this year, but
we don't expect them to be good this year. Steve, thanks. But you never know. Guess what? The NFL. It's one thing about the NFL. It's the same. It's the reason that all the other leagues are trying to replicate the NFL because there is such parity. Teams go from worst to first every year. You never know. Injuries are, everyone has injuries in the NFL. It's a fucking tough game. And guys catch fire. Guys have big seasons. You never know. Guys stay healthy and have big years. You never know. You never fucking know with the NFL.
No, and listen, if the quarterback,
it's not like the NBA where you're like, well, these 4 teams are going to be good. You never know with the NFL.
If the quarterback can play, then it changes everything.
Absolutely.
That's the unknown. We don't think he's a franchise guy, but guess what? We've been proven wrong before.
I hope to God he is. Listen, I love everything about the kid. I've said this multiple times. I love his toughness. I love his leadership qualities. I love the fact that he wasn't a pussy like 99.9% of all the kids nowadays. And when he lost his job at Alabama, he didn't run away and hide. Nah, I'm leaving the school. He stuck it out like a man. And he was a good backup to Tua. And then he got a chance to play because Tua got banged up. And he won them a game in the college football playoff. Like, that's the dream. Then he transfers, has a great year for Oklahoma. I love the kid. I really do. To me, I don't know he's ever going to be able to throw consistently from the pocket. And to win the playoffs, you have to. But I like everything else about the kid. And I'm not going to count him out from being able to. And now his arm's not great. It's not going to get a whole lot, it's not going to get better. But he can do a lot of things. I love his leadership. I love the fact that he can move. He throws well on the move. So there's things you can work with. I just don't know that he's ever going to be a pocket passer. That's all.
That's my biggest question mark, Wills. The guys who run around all the time don't win in the playoffs. You got to be able to throw. So simple as that.
Eagles are targeting former Charger safety Rayshawn Jenkins. Was another Will Parks move? That's like a Will Parks move. I
don't know who the fuck Rayshawn Jenkins is. I feel like I should know who Rayshawn Jenkins is. Like here we go. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a made up name.
Yeah, did somebody make that up?
Rayshawn Jenkins.
Oh my God. Sorry.
No, Bill. Trubisky would not make sense as a backup. I know you're not saying that, Bill, but I'd throw something.
Yeah, I don't. What are we doing? Yeah.
I expect Mitchell to stay in Chicago, but who knows?
Somebody's saying no. Rayshawn can play. He's very versatile.
Okay, I'll take him.
I don't know much about him, and I know a lot about a lot of guys. So, where is he? Where did he play?
Chargers.
Okay, all right.
Great call. Good stream, guys. Puck drops in 10 minutes. Go Flyers. Yes, sir. Yes,
absolutely.
Sir. They need this one. They need to get it on track, right? In 10 minutes also from now, you get the Sports Hounds live on A2D Radio. They got the whole bracket. They got the whole bracket tonight. So for all you March Madness junkies, catch on. They're going to be bracketed up.
Brings bracketology.
Enjoy that. And then you got Flight Zone followed by them at 9:30 tonight. And
I don't hate Trubisky, but he's not what he was drafted to be. That's for sure.
Yeah, Brinks, he went second or third overall.
I believe he went third. Maybe he might have went second.
And on the Flight Zone tonight at 9:30, the Sixers need to reinforce the role players even after blowing out the Spurs last night. They agree or disagree? Real quick, we'll say that we'll go through that one real fast. Hey, listen, if you're watching on YouTube, keep subscribing. We love it. We see the subscribers going up. We can't thank you enough. All right, we got shows all the time, and hit that like button. You got us over 100. Keep pounding it. Keep pounding it. Wherever you're watching at Facebook, hit that share, hit that like, comment in wherever you're watching. right? Enjoy it. Tons of shows, tons of content. I think you're going to enjoy your time here.
Enjoy your stuff.
That poll, like,
Time's yours.
to reinforce, like, no, I would like a player. Like, again, like, I would like one upgrade somewhere, sure, but this bench has been unconscious the last 4 games. So, like, to me, it's like, let me see if they can continue this for a little stretch.
Well, I'm telling you this right now. I was at the point when this Kyle Lowry thing started, right? The rumors, like, I would have been okay with it. I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been happy. Now, given what we would have to give up, if we got Kyle Lowry, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, me too.
I'd be pissed. I'm good. Like,
There's no reason to get him, I don't think.
No, like, and I'm not crowning Thibault, but Thibault's been playing awesome. You know what I'm saying? And if he can continue,
yeah. He's been active, right? He's been active and had a pulse, right?
And aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if you're going to get Lowry, you're going to have to give up one of Shake, Maxey, or Thibault. I'm not giving up Thibault for him.
That would
I feel weird about giving up Maxey for him, and I think Shake's too important to this offense, and he's struggling right now. But I'm not doing that. Hey, give me an upgrade at power forward, and give me one other guy, and I'm cool. Give me one small trade and a buyout, and I'm fine. And then bring me back Embiid, and we're going.
Furky's been consistent, and Furky's been consistent. So, like, some of the guys, like, this bench wasn't consistent in the last 4 games. They've answered the bell. I mean, they absolutely have him. And right now, you don't need to make panic moves. You have to the 25th. Let the finish gauging out what you got, right? I mean, do yourself the service and gauging out what you got. Like, if PJ Tucker gets bought out and clears waivers, jump on him, right? You know what I mean? Jump on. Like, right? There's guys, there's other guys you maybe make little moves for. We talked about before. George Hill, Terrence Ross, sure. But let's see. Let's wait it out a second. If we continue to win games and these guys continue to step up, you don't need to. If they don't, then you guess what you got to go do? Then you got to go make a move. But I think Doc's been tremendous. I think the staff's been tremendous. I think the younger players are stepping up, and you've seen guys step up without. You had the veterans step up in Danny and Seth last night without Joe. So important. So important to your younger guys to watch the pros come in and say, oh, let me drop double digits. Let me lead the way here for you puppies. And then once it's like hitting's contagious, so scoring. And this team's been hot.
Unless you're getting a name that I'm not even thinking of, that I don't even think is possible right now, you're probably going to come on the end of I'm going to be pissed if you make a big time move. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm all for, like,
there's no reason to make a big time move, though, bro. No, that's why I'm right with you. Give me PJ Tucker. I'll be fine with that. Give me a Terrence Ross, guy that can score a little bit off the pine. I'd be fine with that. Besides that, I don't need to make any moves. I'm happy with the team. Why fuck with the chemistry? We're playing good ball. I'm excited. I think that we're a really tough out, and we're primed to probably see the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals. So giddy up. Let's go. I'm excited.
And I'll just say this real quick, because we've gotten a ton of people have been asking us. They were asking us on Friday, Wednesday, etc. They're like, oh, well, why? Like, they're getting frustrated with Daryl, why he hasn't made a move yet. It's because of this reason, fam. He's holding out to see if anything goes awry, for example, if he needs to make the splash move. He can go out and get Bielitsa at any time. He can go out and get Tucker at any time. Wayne Ellington, DeLon Wright. Those are moves he can literally wake up in the 5 o'clock in the morning and make that deal in 2 seconds. Because we have those type of assets. You know what I'm saying? A DeLon Wright or Wayne Ellington, you're giving up Terrence Ferguson in a second. You're giving up Mike Scott, Furkan, or not even Furkan. You're giving Mike Scott and a couple picks for Bielitsa. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are moves you can make in 5 seconds at the very end of the deadline if you need to. So you don't need to be in a rush for any of those guys.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever star shopping. So to me, I don't even think they were even in on the Harden. I just don't believe they were star shopping. I believe that these guys came here. I said it when they were hired, and I'll continue to say it. Doc, Daryl, they came here for Simmons and Embiid. So, and even Tobias, they came here to coach these guys because they believe that they can win here. That's why they came here. So, to me, I don't believe that they're ever making a splash, right? But now, in terms of little bench moves, like you said, you don't got to do anything. I've been yelling and screaming about this for a little bit. Like, there's you have to the 25th. Like, if the 25th comes and we're playing bad basketball, then we got to talk, right? And if he doesn't make anything, we're playing bad basketball. Even if we had Embiid back, then we got to talk. But we have that time, right? So if these guys continue to step up, we're in great shape. If they don't, then then you can like you said, right? Then you can make them the little moves because they're not going anywhere right this second, and there's going to be other guys too. So,
real clever. I forgot more about the Sixers than you know, but besides that, I mean,
okay. Well, listen, stay tuned.
So I'll make for a great phone call later.
Just don't mention Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
Stay away from Jimmy.
That's fine.
All right, fam. Well, you got the sports sounds coming up here 7 o'clock, followed by Flight Zone. So turn your alerts on. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Enjoy the shows. Enjoy them all. This was fun. We went 2 hours Eagles. We well, really a little less than 2 because we went about 8 minutes Sixers. So, and they're the ones playing. Isn't that crazy? And we talked free agency. So we talked about all the moves that were made live as they were going on. So that was fun.
We've got the freaking dial people before the show. They're talking about pasta and gardening. So
good to join you boys. Thanks for having me.
Good having you.
Thanks for spending the time. Now y'all go spend the time with the sports sounds. With Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Brian Wilson, everybody out there tuning in. Jesse, David, Don, Greg, TTP. There's so many.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
We love y'all.
Let's keep this going. Sixers playing good.
Yep. Not giving up the first in the East. Standing by it. We out.